It is disgusting. Weird.
Hey.
Weird. That's really weird. That's really weird. That's really weird.
Hey, hi. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the program. Man, oh, man. Man, oh, Jesus Christing man, do we have a lot to talk about. On the program, we got Greg. This is probably like of all the things that's going on today that you guys are going to be all worked up about and peeing your pants about, is Greg, my co-host Gregory, he likes to be called now, has a review of a review for us of Cruella. And he's really prepared this. I know, you know what? There's a lot of Greg fans, which is kind of little disturbing, to be honest, that a lot of people like Greg on this show. But of course, there's a kind of a funny little meme going on right now, which is that this guy who I kind of make fun of because he's what we call an easy target.
That's really weird.
He's a very, very easy target, this guy, Steven Crowder. I think, like, more than anyone, like, he is, like, a human meme, but, like, really reaching the depth of what it means to be a human meme. And he's involved in this situation now where he got basically tricked into, he got like sandbagged into doing a thing with Sam Cedar. And I want to say this too. A lot of people, you know, they're like, oh, whatever, Sam Cedar, he's not like enough of a leftist and and he's a liberal and all this stuff. Look, you idiots. Sam Cedar was doing this stuff when there was really nothing else. When I was out there like, oh, like there's no mainstream. If you want to learn, if you wanted anything left of like, you know, mainstream news, it didn't exist. You would have to go read a Chomsky book or something. So Sam Cedar's been out there for a while, so you show him some respect, you absolute turds.
That's really weird.
We also, guys, before we even get started, we have to say last week we did a very ambitious thing with one of our favorite personalities, characters on the show, the amazing and very funny Chipford. It's this woman, her goes by the name Chipford. And the show was what we call a complete technological meltdown. Let's check the stream health. Stream is healthy. Stream health is excellent. No data. And thank you to Shenanigans for the 5 bones. And she wants to get a review. You want Greg to review you personally, Shenanigans? Squid for Hire says, love you. And I love you too.
I love you too, Squid.
Okay, it's not your segment yet. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna talk about this stupid funny thing with Steven Crowder and Sam Cedar. And I forgot, it revolves all around H3H3. So we're gonna look at that. But before we do, let's get a little look into the mind of one of our favorite callers, if Richard Nixon were good at football. Hello?
Inshallah, RM, and have a blessed day to you all.
Hey, what's up? Oh my God, Greg, what happened?
Oh, sorry, dude. Sorry, dude.
Oh, dude,
It's weird. It sounded like it was like my voice coming from Greg. Did you hear that? That's sort of weird.
He's getting good at his impressions. He's getting good at his impression.
Oh my god. I'm having some tech issues.
He's having tech issues. First, his voice was sounding like mine. Now it's just all like data moshed or audio data moshed. Anyway, Richard Nixon. Sorry, I interrupted.
Love you, but you gotta go for a while.
All right. You ready? You ready?
Oh my god, we're both having audio problems.
Yeah, it's definitely not my bad voice mods.
If Richard Nixon were good at football, what's
Okay.
going on?
First I got to talk about the last week since our unfortunate stream.
Bad stream. Bad stream.
Some of these guys, I don't even think they want to date with Chipford.
Bad stream.
Because
Exactly.
the Toilet Lorette chat has been a race for her hand between me and Battlebong, and that's been about it.
People aren't trying
Like-
hard enough to get Chipford's hand in marriage?
I mean, Patrick doesn't have to try because he just comes in and goes, "Oh, I Peaky Blinders," and she swoons. But that's I can't fight a British guy. It's just they got the leg up on me.
It's really bad timing because this woman Chipford, she wants to meet a guy on here, and she at the same time is watching the show Peaky Blinders. That she's obsessed with this show that, by the way, is like 30 years old. Anyway, let's not give her a hard time about that. But yeah, it's at the same time that she's obsessed with Peaky Blinders, and then in waltzes a guy with a British accent. So it's gonna be an uphill struggle for all the for all us
it's a nice
Americans.
accent.
Yeah, it is.
It's not like he's from like Manchester or something or Birmingham, and it's like, oh, you
No,
gotta listen to him talk. But no, it's like honey in your ears.
as those people say, it's a very posh accent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Weird.
It's quite nice to listen to, but frankly, though, the rest of the competition has been disgusting.
Oh, you're gonna get it right now. You won't hear it, but I'm gonna play it.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
And I gotta
Wow,
say,
that
hold
was
on,
really cool.
Richard Nixon. I gotta say, this guy Tenchu808 in the chat says YouTube wants to flush you down. You should have 100K easily now. You know what? Like, here's the thing. I've been trying to figure out, because there was a couple months where it was just like I would wake up in the morning and I would check my phone and it would be like, oh, you got like a 500 new subscribers. And now that is not happening. I think it could have had to do with the timing, maybe like the election or something like that. But a lot of political YouTubers are saying like, oh no, like we're being censored and all this stuff. Who knows? Who knows?
It's definitely, and then the people criticizing things, like actually
Weird.
criticizing, not just the Steven Crowder effect people.
Right, exactly. So, but
So
in
it's
the
like,
end,
oh, you got a real argument? Flush.
it would be nice to know, to have some transparency, to be like, hey, like, are we doing some kind of democratically voted on thing where we're gonna sort of shadow ban anybody who talks about anything that's not like filling a pool with like nerd rope or whatever these people do on the trending tab of YouTube, some 15-year-old with 4 billion subscribers who like fills his Ferrari with Jello pudding every day,
Yeah.
like, oh,
Or
that's
like
what
that one little like video game reviewer kid that's like a millionaire now because his parents like are his managers or something.
exactly.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm talking about. What's his name? I don't know.
Ninja.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's
Okay.
Ninja.
But bigger channel talk gets me into another thing. It's not the exact same tangent, but it's related just because of, the big guy, the big red thing with the triangle. The YouTube.
I gotta say, before we move on, hold on one second here. Thank you to the glorious Bradeen 2. I RM browned my pants. You know what's funny is that like my last name really is Brown, and when I was a little kid,
Yeah.
this guy.
Oh, I can already tell.
Yeah, when I was a little
I already
kid,
know what.
oh, well, this has been my whole life, this kind of thing. But this is when I was a child. I was in my, single digits. And this guy, I guess he was like an acquaintance of my parents. He was like one of those kind of guys, like, oh, this is like an uncle who's not really an uncle, and he's sort of a weirdo and stuff. And he came up to me and he was like, hey, you know what your mom said when you were born? Oh, dropped a brown. Drop the brown, he said. And I think even as it was one of those moments, like even as a kid, I was like, yeah, this is not something that an adult should be saying to a child.
It was, it was your kid Joker moment.
Exactly. I started dancing down the steps after that. He said that.
All right.
Well, sorry, Richard Nixon. What else you got? I'm sorry. I always derail.
Okay. Oh, no, it's fine. This is also related to my movie recommendation from last week, so it ties into topics.
Can you remind me what movie? What movie did you recommend? Remind us.
Space Hunter: Adventures in the Forbidden Zone.
Oh, right, and that was a early Molly Ringwald movie.
Yes, I saw the one comment that was like, "Wow, he's not even going to mention Red Letter Media, this that." I'm like, I'm here to talk about the movie, not the people I heard it from, you know?
Yeah.
I thought it was the unwritten rule to not just get on and start talking about bigger channels when we're not, like, when we're the muscular class toiling.
That's right, because I do go back and I bleep it out, you know? I do this very shady. If somebody mentions like a bigger channel on the stream, I go back and I like clip. YouTube lets you clip out, and I go through. I spend hours and I clip out other mentions of other channels.
I wouldn't expect any more. Like, that's what you got to do. It's how you struggle. It's just how you get up in the game.
What's it called again? Space Hunters in the Ends of the Universe. What is it called? Space
Hunter: Adventures in the Forbidden Zone.
And Molly Ringwald is how old in this?
I think she was younger, like, because Breakfast Club was one of like her first movies.
Yes.
Or whatever. That's release.
Yes.
This is like 81, 82, I think. I don't remember the exact year. It's Reagan was president. It's all a blur. So she was definitely like in her mid-teens, like 16 to 17 maybe. She may have been younger. I don't know.
Okay.
But it makes some of those scenes just really weird. It's like, ugh. It's like the Blue Lagoon stuff with Brooke Shields.
I was gonna ask, is this like, remember The Professional with Natalie Portman? Where people are like, whoa, why are they treating... Well, first of all, why is this like a romance movie between an old French guy and like a 10-year-old girl? And The Professional is a great movie, but if you rewatch it, it is like a little bit like, what's going on here? What is this? Come on. But I think in the end, we could be like, all right, whatever. It's a cute movie. It's a little weird, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah. All right. I've got one last thing with the Toilerette stuff, and then I got one more thing about the wolf thing to talk about. Then you can flush me.
Yeah, let's hear about it.
Okay. So the Toilerette, like I was talking with Chipford, and our signs are like all matching up, like multiple zodiac, like Chinese, whatever the other one is that all the annoying girls constantly talk about. Like the normal one. I
love that as a you're trying to talk someone into dating you, and you're like, hey, look, all our stuff's aligned. Chinese. You just throw in like the word Chinese. I'm gonna do that the next time I'm trying to like chat up somebody. I'll be like, hey, like let's hang out. Chinese. I don't know.
Well, then it just sounds like.
I think like I will be honest. Like Richard Nixon. Like I'm pulling for you. I think you and Chippy would be a good match.
Oh, thank you.
And
I think so. I really like Chipford. I'm not just someone that's in it for competition. I really like Chipford.
She's cool. We tried to do video. She had like a cool mask. Her mom was yelling at her, which I found very cute. I'm trying to get her to get her mom on the show because I feel like that would be great. Her mom was like yelling at her and like telling her to stop it, and then Chipford was like yelling back. I was like, this is way more interesting than what I do. I'm talking about Barry Lyndon or whatever. This little, mother-daughter drama is pretty engaging, actually.
Yeah. So some real novella. It writes itself kind of thing.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm pulling for you. Your guys' zodiac stuff is aligned.
In multiple ways, because like Richard Nixon, like the reason this whole even started is because she sent me like a Chinese zodiac thing from whatever like restaurant she was eating at her parents with.
Ooh. Ooh, so there's already behind the scenes romance brewing, it sounds like.
Yeah. And she sent it because I was one of the list of people
Oh, great.
for Year of the Ox. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. We line it up.
You guys are
And
both
then,
oxes.
Like, I think so. It was one of those compatible things. I'm not into the deep lore.
What if it's Year of the Ox, but it's AUX, like aux cable? Like you guys are just like what what you use to plug in your phone to an Uber, you know, to listen to your music.
Yeah, we were we were both born in the year of the cigarette chargers still being around in cars.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Yeah, these other guys got to bring their A games because so far the stars are in my favor. Like the retrogrades, the feng shui, house arrangements, all that.
Hell yeah.
So
beautiful.
All right.
Well, I hope it happens. You got anything else for us, Richard Nixon, before you get the flusheroonie?
Yes, I've got a nice little thing about the Wolf interview to talk about.
Let's hear it.
Well,
That's
first
really
I gotta say, great job on it.
Thanks.
Because I was so sucked into listening to Wolf because that's like the first time I've really gotten him like consistently, not just some random clip saying "make pee-pee" or something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so sucked into just him talking about the different topics and stuff that I missed all the sound bites you pulled from it. Like I wasn't even thinking, oh yeah, that's a soundbite. I was just like in the zone.
Yeah, I mean, I would say there's a bunch in there. You know, he's a very knowledgeable guy, but he's also like he's a great teacher. You know, like he's engaging, he's funny, he's
I want him to come to my school, like please.
Yeah. And it's funny because like I don't see, I mean, there are like he's debated people who are kind of like, you know, whatever libertarians who are kind of his age and like whatever experience level and all this stuff, but there's really not too many people like him that are like have that much of a historical perspective and are able to kind of you know what I mean, like be engaging and like really explain things at a level that is you can relate to in your life, you know.
I mean, all right, this isn't the thing, but what I love like hearing him talk about is like the Mundragon Corporation and like co-op stuff, where it's like really explaining that social change and progress of like a more fair stuff doesn't have to be the weird propaganda kind of thing we've been fed a lot from like old Cold War stuff, where it's like
exactly
like we don't differentiate between private and personal property enough when we're talking about like what has to change, because that's why people are thinking, oh no, I don't get to own anything, it's going to be the Soviet Stalinists, this and that, you know, like that's what's in people's heads, and we really need to like change.
Yeah, that's a thing he talks about a lot, which is like, look, we've been propagandized for like 60 years.
I'm a big fan of Dick Wolf too. I love Law and Order.
No, that's not Rich. That's a different guy.
Bolton.
Yeah, he thinks it's the guy, the Law and Order guy, but you know.
Yeah. But I sent your interview. I sent my interview to my uncle. This is the last thing.
No, go ahead.
Because of like its relevance to like the work he does with communities in our wonderful state that definitely doesn't have any problems with power grids.
You're a Texas boy too, huh?
I am.
Oh,
I'm very generational.
I got a story about that. I don't know if you heard the story where the dudes like where some people were saying that their Wi-Fi thermostats were changed remotely to keep the grid from crashing. But we're gonna
Greg has become the Greg Abbott. I need to differentiate. He's become the dad of the whole state. He's like, don't touch the thermostat.
Exactly. Weirdly, it's actually the same Greg. That's the same Greg that calls in.
I've been talking about this for weeks in the comments that I suspected. You know, you live in Austin. They're the same guy. Yeah. Greg Abbott, grossly incompetent Greg, and the Greg on RM's couch are the same dude. I mean, it makes perfect sense why he can't get into the camera shot. This is bad. You already know what I was going to say. We're not going to mention it. But I recommended I gave it the interview to my uncle because of like the work he does. He liked it a lot. He definitely took away from it. a lot of good things about like the co-op stuff and like community development, because the same stuff's happening all over Texas, like what happened in Mondragon, where it's like, if we're going to wait around for the Walmart to show up, we're going to be waiting till we're in Graves.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, and then it's like the power dynamic is totally weird, and you know, it's just waiting to be a disaster. It's waiting. Yeah. It's really
no
it's waiting.
Unionizing, all that.
Yeah, and it's waiting to fall apart by its own rules. You know, if people don't have enough money, like, you know, it's a disaster. But anyway, Richard Nixon, I will talk to you soon, and bye.
Adios, monsieur.
I think that might be Chippy's future husband.
To a very special episode of the H3 podcast. Today is my first ever debate against the one and only Steven Crowder, who thank you very much. Thank you. Steven
Ethan,
Crowder.
Please stand up.
Who's standing up?
Ethan, please stand up.
Ethan, oh man.
Battlebong, are you there?
Ethan, please stand up.
Yeah.
Who am I to disobey
What up, dude?
our great...
What up? Hello?
Oh God, is this Greg?
Hey, bro, it's me, Greg. I hope you're excited because
Oh my God, his audio is really weird today. Battlebong, what's going on?
I just have one question for you as a Texan.
What is it?
Do beans belong on chili or not?
Beans and chili.
Yeah.
Beans in chili. That's a good question, because I could really go both ways on that. I would say yes and no. I mean, is there... See, this is I feel like this is one of those Texas things where it's like, oh, like here in Texas, we don't do that. Is there like a no beans and chili rule in Texas that I don't know about?
Yeah, I think it's beans and like tomatoes or something. It's like there's like chili purists. It's really weird.
Chili purists want beans and tomatoes in, or they want them both out?
They want them both out, which is I think it's kind of boring.
They just want crushed up meat, basically.
Yeah, I don't really get the appeal, but
that's a little weird. They want sloppy joes or something?
Yeah, that would just be a sloppy Joe, wouldn't it? Jeez.
What if you go, you're like, I'll have a sloppy Joe hold the bread.
Weird.
Yeah, and then you're just like, no, this is chili.
Yeah, exactly. Like how people used to do with the Atkins diet. They're like, yeah, I'll have a triple Whopper and no bread and a Diet Coke, please. Hello, being skinny. That's what they would say.
Yeah, I want like 18 burgers, but no fries because there's a carbs.
Disgusting.
Exactly.
I think it's pretty enlightened to think that beans with or without chili is like both valid. I never actually thought about that.
It's both, right? We could be fine. I mean, I've had both. I'm gonna say that like beans, you may get a little bit of a texture mix rather than just eating crunched up meat,
Yeah, and a little bit more plant protein too, so that's always good.
Chili time. Is it
yeah,
chili?
I think enjoy it without beans too. It's pretty good.
Chili time. Chili time. Chili
time.
Oh, that was weird. Well, I'm gonna try.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna try both, and I'll get back to you.
Yeah. Really dwell on like the bean component, maybe the tomato component too.
Do you eat a lot of Chipotle?
Oh no, I've never had Chipotle. I can't find it really in this part. Canada.
Chipotle. This is my thing on Chipotle. A lot of people talking about Chipotle lately, and it ends up going into like, is it actually good? The thing is, like, Chipotle it's like all the things that you would think is good. You get some rice and beans and salsa and all this stuff, but somehow it's off. You know what I mean? Like, there's just always something off about it. About something that should just be simple.
Yeah, it's never like mama's cooking.
It's never quite right. But anyway, Battlebong, I'll talk to you later. You're beautiful, and I love you, and I hope everything's going good with you, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, I love you too.
Bye-bye. We're going to watch a little bit more of this.
Crowder challenged me to a debate. He called me a layup. He said I was stupid. Well, Steven, I think the debate speaks for itself. Steven Crowder, for those of you that don't know, is probably one of the most hateful, bigoted people on the platform. Racist, homophobic. I mean, pretty much hits every box.
The Shapiro is actually his NASCAR impression. RM, you can't forget the okra component. Ooh, okra. Eating okra with Oprah is my favorite riff-raff line. Eating okra. Anybody can come up with a better riff-raff line than eating okra with Oprah? Good luck. Hit me up. Oh, I just bailed on the Vosh Crowder stream to come here. Good to see Ethan lording over you. If anybody knows, look, when it comes to streaming,
Chewy time.
it's always
Chewy time.
so I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Chewy time.
I don't know what I'm doing. So it's like, should we just watch this? Because I know this is kind of the big thing right now, you know? Actually, there's somebody I want to talk to right quick. Ascend me, are you there?
Hello?
Ascend me? Ascend?
Hello?
Is this Ascend me?
Yeah, it is.
What up, my dude?
What's
Old friend. I haven't talked to you in a long time. What's going on?
Oh my god. It's literally been like a year.
Yeah. Did you make it through? Did you make it through everything okay? Did you make it through the pandemic?
I did.
Or as I call it,
I'm
the
alive.
plandemic?
I escaped. I couldn't even say everything that I've done since we last talked, but I quit KFC. I started at Walmart. I joined the Navy, like I told you last time.
Oh my god!
And
Wait, I gotta give people the backstory. This is because I talked to you like a year ago on the stream. This was like you know, not a lot of people watching the stream, if anybody.
No.
And
It's like 12.
and you had a lot of fascinating stories because you were okay, whatever. This is not as fascinating, but you're working at KFC. What I thought was fascinating is that you had this friend or a group of friends who were like kids, but they lived in their own house and they kind of did whatever they wanted. They were like the bad kids.
I'm trying to think which friend.
They were like that. They were like the that movie, The Outsiders.
That guy got arrested.
Oh my god,
That guy got arrested.
That guy got arrested for what?
Like last week for robbing a house.
Oh
They had
my
cameras.
god. Oh my god. Are you staying away from these bad kids?
I haven't been in contact with that guy since I went to his Fight Club party like a year ago, like last summer.
Were they still in high school? Because I can't really remember the story. Because you were a high schooler at the time, and there was just this.
Yeah, I just graduated.
These couple kids who just lived on their own and kind of like, you know, they were the outsiders. They just did whatever they wanted, no parental supervision, just lived in a house on their own and did whatever they want. And now one of them's arrested.
Pretty much, it was three.
That's
I mean,
really
the
weird.
one who owned the trailer, I didn't really know as well, but the two who moved in with him, I've always been really good friends with.
Weird.
And I'm still friends with them now. One of them has a kid now. He just turned 20.
Oh,
but
boy.
anyway, yeah, they were all like being roommates in this trailer, the three of them, and then the most like least how do I say this? Least promising path of them, the one who did like the most drugs and did all the bad stuff. He stole like $2,000 from them, the two guys, my friends who were living with him. And then, well, that was last summer, and then since then,
boy.
yeah, he.
So these are the people you hang out with, just criminals, disgusting.
Oh my
criminals.
God, you should see his Snapchat story. I think he developed schizophrenia.
Oh boy.
From all the unsavory things he was doing. I really do. Because he was talking about how. Just so much. He was insane.
Ascend, will you come back Wednesday and we'll talk longer? Because I think the people watching this are really hungry to see what's going on with this H3 thing. So will you come back Wednesday?
Yeah, I ship off next Tuesday.
Oh, Jesus. So Wednesday you have to come on then.
Okay. What
You're gonna tell
time,
us
do you
about
know?
what's going on in the Navy, please.
Okay.
All right.
Do
Love
you know
you.
what time?
Yeah, come on at 8. Come on at 8. I'll bring you on first.
Okay.
All right. And then
Okay, I
yeah,
can do that.
just DM me to remind me. But
All
I
right.
will. But I will remember. I love you, Ascend.
Okay. Love you. Talk to you then.
Bye bye. Cool guy right there. Let's see. Somebody had a riff raff line from Riff Raff. What is it? Sachi's keep me cold. Slide like M. Bison. Broke these hoes off. Concealed handgun license. I don't know what that. Leopold, if you could tell me what Versace's. Okay, I got it. Yep, I'm a cool guy. I'm a really cool guy. And I'm showing the back end of the stream right now, which is great. How do I get to the thing I was trying to do?
We made this big, beautiful compilation of some of his greatest hits, but it's actually so heinous and offensive that YouTube age restricted the first upload of our video. So that all is available for our members, with the whole compilation, everything, which is, adds a lot of atmosphere.
I keep my philosophy locked up with my hypothesis. Another riff-raff line. Oh boy, that's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, this is not right. Hold on. Let me get my stream on point.
Fear, but for the sake of this version, we had to cut all of that out. But he is, let's just take my word for it in that case, a giant douche.
I gotta say, RM, what makes a good soundbite in your opinion? The whole soundbite idea I really stole from this guy who used to do radio like in the 90s and early 2000s. This guy Neil Rogers, who did like South Florida radio, and what he would do was the sound bites would always replace something that he was gonna say. So he had this one sound bite this guy would say, about 30, man. So he would always be like, if he was gonna say a number, like, oh, how many more years do I have to live? About 30, man. Like, it would always like work into something he was saying. That's what makes a good sound bite. Like, for example, like this one, like
Hi.
Like hi, or
No.
because then you can just work it in like, oh, is Ben Shapiro a good person?
No.
You know what I mean? Anyway.
Well, my tiff with Steven came when he said that our clip about COVID, when we were saying it's okay to listen to scientists, said it was his favorite clip of all time.
Hey.
We went back and forth for people who have been following, and Steven boldly challenged me to a debate and a video titled, Your Move, Ethan.
I will invite you on the show, Ethan.
This is, okay, sorry to keep interrupting, guys, but this is, I mean, look, is this in the grand scheme of things in life, is this like a big deal? No. Okay? Is this a big deal?
No. So let me explain something to you. No.
But it is kind of funny that this guy who, he tricks younger people and less informed people with these sort of carnival tricks, like the change my mind thing. And then he kind of got caught with his tricks, and so it's funny, he's an idiot. He's an idiot who got tricked. It's sort of like when a bully, the bully's like, meet me after school, I'll beat you up. And then he shows up and they're like, I don't know. What would be I was going to say somebody's dad is there and beats him up, whatever. That's not, that's a little sick, but there you go. Just got here. Vosh is streaming the video where Crowder gets confronted and Crowder is mauling like crazy.
Ethan Klein. I will have I'll follow you on Twitter.
Crowder is mauling and it's based.
I'll have Darren, my booker, reach out where you can come on this show.
Darren's his dad, by the way, right? Just say your dad, bro. He keeps trying to hide that it's his dad. You guys will get more info about the dad. But Darren's his dad.
We usually go after political figures, authoritative sources right on this show. Usually those are the people who we have to debate. Change My Mind is not a debate, but we've had politicians, scientists, Pulitzer winners, and every now and then a layup crosses our path who we just kind of...
Just to the chat, if you want to watch, do you want to just skip all this stuff, or we can watch the whole way through? We'll do like a longer stream if everybody's down with that. Okay? Does that make sense? Are you guys cool with that?
No.
What do you think is the problem?
You have a mental health problem.
All right. But we can do a longer stream and watch this whole thing and read chats. Oh, I gotta say, let's see what McRibs has to say. McRibs. There's McRibs. He's somebody who watches the stream here, and he says, I heard Texas barbecue is dry. But take it from your boy McRibs. Barbecue is meant to be wet. Ooh. Ooh. That's what barbecue's supposed to sound like.
Like the shtick that you're only capable of.
Now, in our original video about Crowder, we had noticed that he had reached out to me to book me on his show, and he was kind of butthurt that I ghosted him all this time. And in this video, he claims here that he never reached out to a booker and that I'm lying about it. So here's what he says about that.
I'm going to assume that you didn't blatantly lie in some of the things that you said, that you're just really lazy or incapable of your due diligence. So you said we'll get to a female booker reached out to you for the show. Hey, Gerald, have I ever had a female booker?
That's a no.
Never,
That's a
ever,
negative.
ever. Now you're either...
RM, here's a riff-raff line. My blank are my rock, like their name's all Peter. We be clowning on these losers like our name's Sam Seder. Okay, come on. What if Riff Raff was really interested in like online political drama? That'd be kind of funny.
We don't work with women on this show. So that's impossible.
Or you're so lazy. Because I don't want to bully you, and then you go and try and get us removed. You're so lazy, you didn't even just verify the fact that it was complete.
Well, you know what? I took this to heart. So I said, you know what, Stephen, I am going to look into this. I found the email that was sent to me. It was very professional.
Get your shoulder holster.
And it still had her social media contacts on it. And so I followed her.
The problem with the shoulder holster thing is that, like, you know, it has the exact opposite effect that it's intended to have. It looks like an unhooked bra on that, especially on Crowder for some reason. You know what? Like, I feel sorry for him now. Like, it's a weird thing. Like, making fun of these guys is that it's always this, like, you know, feeling sorry for them.
Down
just
on
creeps
Instagram.
up.
And I said, hey, blank, did you ever do booking for Louder with Crowder? I'm just trying to verify that this email I got from you inviting me on the show is real or not. Thanks. Here's the email, by the way. Super professional. Definitely a real email, by the way. This one in particular. She immediately responded to me. She said, yes, I did booking for him years ago for a few months. I'm not quite sure whose contact you'd have now. I know his dad does his booking for him, though. Let me know if you need it to try to find his contact. Interesting that she knows that detail. That makes me think that is very real. And that he's lying about inviting me on his show. How odd.
Hey, my rhymes are so tight that I'll be your number one choice. Watch me and not the progressive voice. Like, that would be Riff Raff if he was obsessed with, like, online political. All right, anyway.
Well, yeah.
Oh, Billy Boy Blue, thank you so much. As a real man, I would really appreciate it if all these man children, besides Raw Meat Brown, of course, would stop acting all tough. $10 to the cause. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If this is how I be saying this.
Chewy time.
Is that if you're tough, if you're really tough in a positive way, you know, like you're sticking to the things that you say you're gonna do, and you live up to your promises and all this stuff, then you're tough and you don't need to talk about it. Okay? Thank you.
Yeah, and while we're talking about lying, Stephen, why don't you tell him that you never filed a lawsuit? Tell us if you filed that lawsuit against YouTube, Stephen. Come on, be on.
Oh, that's another thing. This might be a little backstory thing. I was kind of just watching in on this. And by the way, guys, if you want me to stop interrupting, shut up. No, just put it in the chat. Say we just want to watch the thing. Just shut your stupid trap. The little bit of backstory. It looks like H3 did a little bit of digging on this, which is kind of like, it's kind of one of the more interesting things about these grifters like Candace Owens and all these people, is that they set up these fake causes. Like, I'm going to sue YouTube. And he's saying, I don't know how much legitimacy there is to this, but he says he looked into the court filings and there's nothing, like he hasn't actually sued YouTube, Steven Crowder. So, there you go.
Be
kind of
honest with
interesting.
your viewers.
Chewy time.
And Steven says he doesn't want to bully me, but here he goes on to say this, and I am feeling very insecure
Pause
now
it.
that Steven has taken a shot at me.
Wait, the Kleenex.
Let me just say, first of all, you have.
Hold on a second.
We were making fun of the fact that Steven had Kleenex on his table, which is pretty funny. Let's be honest. He's sitting there with gun holsters and tissue. I mean, what is he crying every second? So listen to this.
That's due to allergies, okay? So I had a bronchial thing, which is
Weird.
community guidelines in a mutable condition. It's genetic.
Oh, poor Steven with his allergies. Don't put the tissue on your desk. It's funny. All right, don't get so twisted up. Look how twisted he gets about me laughing about him crying all the time. He needs a box of tissue on his desk.
But I guess there's a ceasefire here, so we can talk about any genetic conditions like
Sure.
the lack of chin.
Thank you, Mika, for the 10 bones. Donation to the Get RM a Big Boy Holster Fund. Yes, please. You know what? I'll do that with that
Lack of
$10.
beard.
I'll get a cheap garbage holster.
120-pound man wearing the
Not to say that
Cinderella
$10 is
bandana on his head.
That one I didn't get. What's the 120-pound? Cinderella?
I couldn't really
If
follow.
he's talking about me,
Why?
I am not 120 pounds. Trust me, dude.
Hey,
We don't have it. Right. Well, anyway.
And to compensate with the beard that he uses just for men, or the
Oh, boy.
Introducing
Here we go.
the highest camera resolution on any smartphone ever.
Thank you.
That's my
eyebrow face
favorite.
like E.T. in the
What
cornfield.
do you need resolution that high for? The highest resolution on a phone ever. What are you taking pictures of outer space or something? RM, we come for you, dog. Oh, squid. Well, guys, look, do a vote in the chat. If you don't want to watch this, we will quickly and promptly abandon it.
It's so stupid, bro.
Okay, well, maybe we'll fast forward a little
So
bit.
if you, right. Let's be
'Cause he's
honest.
doing a lot of lead up.
Never afraid.
Ethan Klein doesn't stand.
Okay, here we go.
The initial quote
Here's where the drama starts. Very good.
that kind of was turned into Ethan Klein from
Steven Crowder. So let's all enjoy the debate.
I'm really glad to have my next guest on the show, and I've always said this. I always respect people who enter into the arena.
So this shouldn't be long. This is like 20 minutes. So we'll just watch this. We'll do a you know. Thank you, Thank you, Andres. $10. Here's $10 for YouTube Premium. Screw the ads. I know, right? If I'm gonna stream and people are nice enough to watch, you would think I'd be not stupid enough to get YouTube Premium so these ads don't keep popping up.
And we've had a lot of debates on this show, which is different from like a Change My Mind where we sit down and have conversations. But my old Brazilian jiu-jitsu coach always said, if you come a switch, we go switch, you go spy.
But okay, by the way, I don't know, like if anybody's followed this, I caught up on this before the stream, but the funny part of this is that apparently Steven Crowder was like doing all this stuff to make sure that Sam Cedar wouldn't sneak into the H3 debate, and they did all this tech stuff and all this trickery to basically sandbag Steven Crowder into doing this thing. I went through a Pepino Chowder phase from Brad Cowdery. Thank you. I went through a Pepino Chowder phase, and now I can look at them and laugh. Is Steven Chowder real? I mean, it's hard to say what he is because he seems like a little bit of a troubled guy, but he gets paid a lot for this stuff for sure.
Spicy, we're going to do a little spicy. So we always try and keep it as respectful as possible. And I really do appreciate the guy making the time because a lot of people has a huge YouTube channel, several YouTube channels, one of the OGs. A lot of people watch him. You know him. Some of you like him. Some of you don't. Same can be said for me. Ethan Klein from H3H3. Ethan, thanks, man, for making the time.
You're very welcome. And I just want to say, I know you called me. You said that I would be a layup.
I think I used something like that.
And I think you're right because I don't think I'm a very good debater. I think you know that. So I didn't want to make it too easy for you.
Oh, okay.
So I've prepared.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So
Dan,
what we were going to talk about is the initial quote that happened. I think he's looking off there. The initial quote that kind of was turned into a little bit of a meme, which wasn't intentional, and.
Thank you, Maxwell. Very excited for the live react. Never pay for YouTube Premium because I like your Prager DW ad reacts. And screw YouTube. I know. Do they need more money? Come on, man.
Was you saying you don't even have to think about it regarding the CDC. And I disagree with that. I think people should think about it. I believe, and we talked about this through playful ribbing and an aggregation.
It's a weird vibe on this guy. I mean, because partly, yeah, he sounds nervous. The Clark, Clark, what is that name? I almost read that. I don't know if I want to say that on stream, but yeah, he seems nervous because like it's a weird thing. This dude lives in a bubble. Anyway,
of medical authorities and scientific voices to make an informed and rational decision. So where do you think that I'm wrong on that?
Stephen, do you know that the Spartans are like practice man love with children?
Oh, geez. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. What did I tell you? He was going to do anything he could to avoid. Oh, there he is. Oh no, Sam Cedar. What a fucking nightmare. I had no idea this was going to happen. I thought Ethan was a stand-up guy. This is where we are. Yeah, I told Dave, remember I told you? I said I guarantee you he's going to do anything he can to avoid the debate.
Well, I just think he believes that he should debate you.
No, he doesn't. He just takes advantage of women with, mental health issues.
Steven,
Ethan Klein doesn't stand up and do his own fighting.
I gotta say,
it's just hilarious. Let's bring on FM.
I mean, I haven't watched this yet, but it already sounds like it's going to be a lot of just people yelling over each other and melting down. I guess this is a good drama.
Would do anything to avoid talking to me. I think the point that you made at the beginning of
Joe
this
Rogan.
Yeah, Joe Rogan and Dave Rubin and Jordan Peterson and Noam Chomsky and Sam Harris. Everyone's been avoiding.
And not just attempting to get your audience by jumping in.
Well, I debated with Charlie Kirk. Stephen, I mean, it's about issues. Let's talk about those issues.
That's what you're doing here.
This is what you do, I guess, when this is when like, the carnival. I mean, this is hilarious because it is the when the carnival guy gets caught, doing his somebody lifts up the thing, or they take out the bottle, or they find out that all the milk bottles are like glued together. The guy's like, "Abba boo ba, aboo ba boo," you know what I mean? McRibs. RM, here's a political riffraff line. Steven Crowder got weak brain like the flavor in alcohol seltzers. After of Sam Cedar, like his name, Bob Belcher. Very good. Very good. McRib, nailed it.
Yeah.
Points.
You're so clever. I had no idea that you were taking your show off early last time, coming in today with your pig pen peanuts on.
I wish
You take those off with the velveteen buttons?
We must have been very worried about this, Stephen. I don't.
Oh man, yeah. He's melting down. The other thing is like this dude's jokes literally are like frozen in like the early 90s.
Oh, no, why?
No one's worried about it. I didn't want to do it.
Let's have
Sam, come on. I'll tell you what. I have a general
This is a
rule.
great opportunity.
I don't start a debate based with people on a lie. And how about you get
sabotaging?
How about you get
Stephen,
to
show yourself, you coward. Stephen, show yourself. Don't show your co-host.
Ethan, you should show yourself.
Ethan, how can you respect yourself as a man, brother?
Stephen, you are such a coward. Stop showing your little leprechaun co-host who comes out dressed like your sidekick.
Come on, Ethan, why do you have to bring on a
show
guy who
Stephen?
has 30th of the viewership of
That's the best thing I've ever heard. So you have a guy with...
I mean, it couldn't be that Sam is smart and could actually challenge them. Yeah, like, there's nothing to do. There's nowhere for my dude to go. Crowder is that dude in high school who made the "get me a sandwich" joke. Yeah, exactly. He's the guy who, like, now is still saying, like, I wouldn't be shocked if he was like, "I'm Rick James, bitch," or something like that. Like, it's just like he, like, just found out about that.
With less viewers to come on to debate him because you can't.
Well, obviously, if I'm a
apparently
if, obviously I'm a if I'm a layup and not a debater.
Well, look, you're the one who called. You're the one who got started.
The one that got angry about
Show
it.
Steven. Don't be such a coward.
All right, hold on. Let me hear what Pigpen has to say here really quick.
Fair enough. Show
but
Steven.
Ethan, look, I don't. Hold on a second, Ethan. This is because initially I came on here to talk with Ethan. Ethan, come on, man. Look, the same reason that I haven't ever had a conversation with Sam Cedars, the same reason that Joe Rogan, Sam Harris, Brett Weinstein, Dave Rubin, Ben Shapiro don't own anything. It's based on a lie, Ethan. Just like you claiming my Ethan. What's the lie? You claiming my booker reached out to you, Ethan, when you know that's not true.
This is great drama. There's something that I don't know. I watched a little thing with Ethan Klein where he said that. I mean, he says that this dude says something that should end his career, but it's like. I mean, that's isn't that his whole thing?
There's no one doubting you, Sam.
Why are you so afraid?
Sam,
I think you're a smart guy.
I can call out Mike Tyson.
I don't understand why
it doesn't mean that I'm ducking
you are so worried about this.
Why do you feel that? Why do you feel that anyone, Sam? Why do you feel that anyone owes you airtime when you have a 40th of the audience and you've been doing the show?
I don't think anybody owes me airtime. I think that Ethan has just given it to me. I didn't ask him for it, and so
no, you've been begging for it for a long time with everyone bigger than yourself.
Why are you so worried about engaging with me?
And so what happens is he uploads 15 times more.
Do you think
has
your
less than a
audience
50th of the audience?
Well, that's why he wants to debate you, is so he can build his.
Do you
Sam,
think
come on.
Your audience cares that I only have 1 million subscribers and you have what, 6 or 7 million subscribers?
Let me answer. Can I answer your question? Can I answer your question? Can I answer your question?
Sure.
You want me to answer your question? My audience would say Sam who? Just like Joe Rogan's audience and Ben Shapiro's and Dave Rubin.
Who I am.
Now they all know who you are because you had to shoehorn yourself into another coward show.
College students, every day that you do that, change my mind. They don't know who those college students are.
This is another lie. This is another lie. Let me clarify, Sam. Let me clarify, Sam.
I mean, this is like it would be kind of interesting to get them to do like a real debate because Steven Crowder's whole thing is to do these like rehearsed sort of pre-planned dialogue tree things, and it would be interesting to see somebody who's a good debater. But I mean, he knows he knows all he can do is panic now. This is great. This is great YouTube drama entertainment, though, I would say.
To change my mind, everyone knows on the show, right?
Yes.
We've had
How
professors
did you know
on the...
I ended my show early last week, Stephen? If your audience doesn't even
you're
know
an idiot,
how
and
did you
half
know
of your
that?
staff
Do you
doesn't
watch
like
my
you.
show?
Because I'm a diehard fan.
Yes, it's because he's a diehard fan.
If you're
I've
a
heard of
diehard
you,
fan,
but I just met you.
Why not
Congratulations,
have me
Sam Cedars fan.
and Stephen have a conversation?
I
will talk about
every time I try and talk, you're interrupting, Sam.
Stephen.
Yeah, right now, I'm trying to talk with you. You're interrupting, Sam.
You bombarded the show.
Okay,
you bombarded my show under a false pretense. You claimed just like you claimed that I ducked a debate with you under a false pretense. Have I ever?
That is what the Politicon people told me.
Oh, is that what they told you? So you're just lazy with your research?
And if big tech is...
You continue with the lie. You need to research and say, did Steven ever accept...
They said you were
Let me explain to you. Let me explain to you. Hey, whoa.
Sam, and you literally...
Sam, sweetheart. Sam, fake stand-up comic who we can't find any footage about online. Let me finish.
I'm not a stand-up comic.
Oh, you're not? Okay, that makes sense because everything that I've seen is incredibly unfunny and unentertaining, which may explain the audience.
Irony alert, Stephen.
Comedian.
How much have you watched of my stuff, Stephen, that you think that your audience wouldn't appreciate our...
So the problem, too, is that, like, Sam Cedars is such a likable guy, and Steven Crowder is so annoying that it's just Sam,
are discussing things.
Samuel, can I answer your question?
Yes.
So you have gone on, you've done the same thing with other comments. Everyone has a bigger audience than you. Because you said, I want to speak with Steven Crowder. You believe that at some point there was some acceptance? When have I ever done a Politicon? Ever? As a matter of fact, in the last decade, I haven't done a single political conference. I hosted CPAC for 4 years and stopped because they suck. They don't pay and they're full of losers.
What about
and you've been clamoring for it, and it's a lie.
Told me that you dropped out of doing his show because
this is just hearsay and gossip.
How can you say
I've never met more of a woman.
Career when he wants to keep debating.
I don't know. Talk about any of this.
All right.
Let's talk about the issue.
So, Ethan, do you want to have a conversation, Ethan?
Let's talk
about the vaccine? mean because
Ethan, do you want to have a
Absolutely, I
conversation?
do.
You're going to hide.
you felt
Absolutely,
so
I do.
strongly
Oh,
about
big tech.
So why are you hiding behind Sam Cedar?
Oh no,
Have a
me and Sam are
conversation
aligned. I'm not
with
hiding.
him.
He just
Well, you're just a
he knows the
liar.
issue.
So you're a
Ethan,
liar.
because remember we
You
said,
brought
hold
in
on a second,
somebody
hold on a
else to
second.
debate.
I mean, it
Yeah,
sort of
yeah, yeah.
feels like
It's
you guys are the ones
ridiculous.
who are hiding.
Really?
Ethan's
Hiding?
being
No, this
completely
is
open
actually
about it.
Who snuck in on you?
Who's the guy who
Ethan's
never
being
appears
completely
on
open
stage,
about it.
never does a live show,
But is a
never
comic.
even sheds,
Oh, boy.
never even allows a shadow of comedy to be perceived on his program? It's just hiding.
Right.
Everything we do is out in the open. H3.
Steven,
you know
you're wearing a
that we
holster.
agreed.
So what?
Hold on a second. Yeah? So? I want to normalize responsible gun ownership. Is that your debate? No wonder you had to bring in a hack for you.
Well, no, you're talking about comedy.
Well, that's
I
what
mean,
you hide strategy.
that's
Right
not
it
very
for you.
funny.
You have a holster, bro.
Also, your
you have a
sponsor is
holster.
Spartans.
He takes advantage of mentally
This is a pretty productive political debate here. LOL, Crowder. Yeah, I know. He keeps. I mean, it really is. This is like a high school, like the high school bully being confronted, basically. Sam Cedar is only a likable guy if he agrees with you. Otherwise, he is rude and condescending. If you're a libertarian, I guess. He's falling apart. Tears in my chowder.
women for a
main
show with
sponsor
just
is about
women.
gay boy
All right,
love.
okay.
All of it.
All right, Sam. You.
I mean, I think probably the most interesting character in all this is Ethan Klein, because it's just like, I mean, what, like, he doesn't need any more viewers or anything like that. It's just like, yeah, let's just watch these two people fight.
Got it. You got it. I hope you have
No,
I
come
hope
on.
you have a
Steven,
wonderful
if-
highlight reel.
Hold on. Let me just make one point.
Hope you enjoy Politicon.
Hold on,
Ethan
let
will
me make
release the
one
private
point, Steven.
messages.
Take it easy.
Steven,
All right,
don't
thanks,
bail.
guys.
You
I
don't wanna
appreciate it.
Don't
It's
bail, you
adorable.
coward.
Hey, Sam, one thing before I go.
If it's
Can you
about
take off your
issues,
glasses?
Steven,
Hold
One
on.
thing before I go.
I
Can you
just
take
want
off
to
your
see.
glasses?
We just want to see. If
I just want to see if you take them off. If you have the Velveteen Rabbit buttons. That's the only thing I'm curious about. It's the only interesting part about it.
Steven,
Or if there's a soul.
Let's
Just
debate.
take off the glasses.
Let's debate, Steven.
Don't hide behind the
Don't
glasses.
be a
Don't
coward.
say let's debate, Ethan. You've
I
lost
will
that.
Coward.
You debate. All right.
Debate
This
the
is sad.
issues. What
This
is
is
the
Yeah, that's a good point. This drama is best watched with Radio Master Brown. Thank you, Darmo. Stephen Chowder foaming his pants. Thank you, Leon. Exactly. This is a real pants foam. This is really kind of sad to see from an adult, to be honest. This is the distractions the CDC wants. Sam and H3 are plants. Yeah, I think this is a CIA thing. Ian Camp. Isn't Steven Crowder's whole thing crashing events? Yeah, he did a thing a long time ago where he interrupted something that Cenk Uygur was doing, which was like, it was like, oh man, we've reached a new low in entertainment. Jesse Miller. God, it honestly hurts that Michael Brooks wasn't here to see this. I didn't even think of that. Oh man. Well, he's watching from heaven.
matter who you debate, coward?
All right, good. You guys, thank you.
Coward.
Won't even take off the glasses.
I was right.
All right, yeah,
We
you
knew
can
you'd
give it
run
the
away.
X. This
You
is-
run away twice. Cold feet again.
Come on, Steven.
Wow. Wow. Dude, I can't believe he admit to following.
He admitted.
What a loser. Like, honestly, what a loser. What a dumb dork. Like, seriously. You know, that's what it is. This guy's legacy. Could you imagine that's your legacy in life? Is you say a bunch of racist and homophobic stuff, get paid by oligarchs who don't give a crap about any sort of progress in the country and in fact want the opposite. And then you just, like, the most popular people on the YouTube, dunk your stupid, annoying face in the toilet publicly. That's your, I mean, you know.
That he followed the show last week.
We got him.
He admitted that he watched the show last
We
week.
got
went
him.
early.
Dude, we played him so hard because he literally was following. He saw that you went live, dude. We fucking got him.
Oh my God, we fucking nailed him.
Holy shit. So do you want to respond to, here, you want to throw him up, Dan? Do you want to respond to anything he said now that he's not talking over you?
I hope Cedar gets he probably will get a big following boost from this. Please laugh. Crowder points at gun. points a gun at co-host. It is like, it's one of these channels that like I make fun of because people like it. It gets a lot of clicks whenever I make fun of Steven Crowder. But, so I have to, in order to do like a decent video on it, you have to watch like an entire episode to get all the funny stuff. Man, his co-host, it is hard to watch that stuff. Their interactions are just so awkward and so sort of, it's like being in an office or something when people are there at gunpoint, basically.
Well, I mean, look, he's obviously lying about the idea that he wouldn't want to do a debate with me because his audience wouldn't know. Here's a guy who literally tracked my show last week because he was afraid that this would happen. Here's a guy who claims to have watched, I don't know what it is he said he watched, but he's not worried about audience not knowing who he's debating because he sits down with random college kids and sandbags them on their campus. I have the recording from Politicon when they called.
Let's talk to somebody really quick. Bulletproof Bra, what do you think of this? What do you think of all this crap? Bulletproof Bra, are you there? Clammy Cedar, hey, what up?
I'm chilling,
Chili
dude.
time.
Chili time. I got a couple things. I got a couple things to mention.
Let's hear it.
One, there's this dude hanging outside my place of work, and he's like, I guess, trying to get signatures so we can run for office. And his sidekick, so to speak, he's the other guy. Looks exactly like you. I swear to God.
You met a guy who looks exactly like me.
Yeah, and he's just been standing outside my work trying to get people to stand, like, to sign stuff, and he passes them pieces of paper, and all the pieces of paper get shoved everywhere. It is a nightmare. It is, well, it's not really a nightmare. It's just like, it's kind of funny. But the thing is, one, essential workers represent. Two, no, I don't care. People, the customers, will just like go out and start like debating with this guy, like both of them. They'll just like, they're just trying to get like.
Lasagna Tube, are you there? Lasagna.
Hey.
Are you watching this Sammy Cedar thing?
Yes.
What do you
I've been
think?
waiting for this for a long time.
What's your thoughts? This is a pretty good YouTube drama, right? Like, this is pretty high level YouTube drama. There's intrigue. They tricked an idiot. They captured an idiot.
And like any cornered rat, we get to watch him flail and lash out at those around him.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I don't know if it's that he knows he's gonna look stupid if he debates a guy who's been doing this for like 15 years or whatever, or he's just, because as somebody who's watched hours and hours of that show, he is like he's sort of bad at like improv, like coming up with, like, he'll say things that are like either really outdated jokes or just like literally don't make any sense. So it could be just a panic of like not being a good improv. I would say it's more that, it's like, let's do a debate. It'll be interesting. It'll be like a clash. We'll get 2 hours of content out of this. But I mean, to have that level of panic is pretty funny. Pretty funny.
That's what I'm saying. It looked like he wanted to grasp for that holster. He literally looked afraid. You could see the fear.
Yeah,
oozing off him.
Oh man, poor. I mean, it really like oscillates between these people are, these people are sick, and I feel sorry for these people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, somebody like Crowder, it's like, I know the feel bad. I mostly would feel bad for their fans. For him, I feel no.
Good point. Yes,
he's made this bed.
That's the attitude. I mean, I have a little bit of sympathy for him because it's a trap that I think a lot of these people fall into, you know, like I think Dave Rubin is like a really good example of somebody who's like, look, I'm not going to make it as a comedian. I'm in a cutthroat town like LA. I don't have a lot of options. Yeah, sure. Okay. Black people are stupid or whatever. You know, these people pay him to say, he's, you know, he feels like he doesn't have a lot of options. There's like a little bit of empathy for somebody who's just desperate, I guess. So there's that, but yeah, I think you're right. It's like the people who are drawn to that stuff, I think, like are largely like, you know, working in an office and they get an ad for PragerU and they like go down a rabbit hole that they're kind of shoved down, right?
Right. They're more sympathetic than him. Like
yeah.
those who parrot and lead the chorus of these idiots.
Exactly.
I think it's funny that you can, just like he's brought up about Dave Rubin, then if you think about somebody like Crowder, whose dad obviously is in such control of their lives, he was forced into this. You know, he was bred for this. You know, like, bred to be an idiot.
I want to get more information on that dad. Is he one of those like? Remember, like what's her name? What's her name? Like Jessica Simpson's dad or whatever, or Britney?
Okay.
Who they totally like manipulated their career and all that stuff, or maybe it's like a Michael Jackson's dad type of situation, you know?
Right. Or Macaulay Culkin. There's a lot of show fathers.
He's a show father. You know, oh my god,
show father.
What is this? This is like an archetype, the show father.
I think so. I honestly, and imagine growing up with that pressure. So I mean, we can, as empathetic folks, I'd like to think we're both empathetic. We can put ourselves in these shoes and say, oh, you know, what a poor guy. But when he's making the millions, you know what I mean? Then
it's a little harder.
All right.
It's a little harder when he's sucking down so much profit from this thing, from rubes, from really people who are, you know, people who are unable to see through this stuff.
There's the sad part.
I want to give a thank you to Billy Boy Blue, ridiculous mother Folger Brown, he calls me. Unbelievable. How dare you? And Andres, and I got to say to Andres, Crowder, this is a good point. Crowder calling Sam Cedar a failed comic only for Cedar to look stumped and say, I'm not a comic, is the funniest thing Crowder's ever managed in his career. Yeah, true. I mean, it's, you know, that's a little bit of the pot, right? A little bit of the pot calling the kettle black type of thing. You know, all right. You gotta go where your career it takes you, where it works, I guess.
Yeah, you know, just like you said, oligarchs, you know, they tend to be a little bit less of a. They tend not to care as much what the type of content that you produce.
Exactly. Lasagna, you're such a nice dude. I feel like you're empathetic toward these people, but also you're not taking any crap from them. So I like that.
Well, when you said about the people who like the rubes that they generate their cash from, imagine how many are sick with cancer and they can't afford their medical bills, and they go, "Wow, I'm so mad at the system." And Crowder tells me that it's these liberals that are taking all the money. You know, it's insane, the dissonance between, you know, the people that generate the income for these people and the content that they produce.
Oh yeah. Exactly. Well, Lasagna, I'll talk to you later. I'm going to press play on this a little bit more because I think people are hungry to watch this. So I will talk to you later.
And he backed out. I have emails from Gavin McGinnis, whose show I would have never gone on, except he offered up a debate with Crowder, and Crowder left. And so, you know, I think Stephen is afraid of debating somebody. You know, look, I do a political show every day. It's dry,
I don't.
It's boring,
it's obvious.
and you don't.
Yeah, exactly. And so if he wants to debate the issues, what's the difference between me and anybody in the world?
I mean, only that he is convinced that for whatever reason, he's nervous about debating me. I don't know why. I don't know why that's the case. But I debated Charlie Kirk at Politicon. It was fine. I thought Kirk did a fairly good job. I think Stephen's not a total idiot, but I also do think he's a bit of a liar.
I mean, yeah, we even went through the effort of tracking down this claim that he never booked us for the show. I mean, here's the email, super professional. So I was like, I reached out to the girl. She said, I said, did you send me this email? She said, yes, I did. Years ago, for a few months, I worked for Steven Crowder booking. I'm not quite sure who you'd contact now. I know his dad does the booking for him.
Mary Kate, Sam Cedar do be dripping though. Is he
Let me know
dripping?
if you need me to try to find you. How
It'd
would
be
she,
cool if a Sam Cedar started coming on with like Supreme hats and
she
stuff.
know that if she didn't work for them?
You know what's funny is that when
There we go, guys. I do have to get premium.
With Squarespace,
I get it.
editing and adding
I'm not a
pieces on
professional,
my...
guys.
the Politicon, when the woman from Politicon called me, she also mentioned that his dad, she said his team, I think Steven got cold feet, his team pulled him out. And I said, wait, he's got a team? And he said, well, his dad.
Right.
And,
right.
you know,
No.
I mean, I
No.
called my dad to see if he could call Steven's dad, to see if Steven would debate me, like on some type of play date. But my father reminded me that I was a grown man and I should probably handle it myself.
Oh, you know, that.
It is just like, you know, it's just fun. It's always funny to see a bully get bullied, I guess. I don't know if you guys saw this. This is pretty funny too. Another goofball we make fun of. This just randomly came up in my Twitter feed. Tim Pool's already talking about this. H3H3 is a pop culture drama channel, and it's stupid to bother debating them. I honestly love Tim Pool because he's like almost like heartwarmingly stupid. Of course they brought in Sam. Who thought Ethan could handle a high-level political debate? This is a waste of everyone's time. It's obviously a drama grift. Oh, man. Oh, man. What have we become? What have we become? We are done for. U.S., stick a fork in it.
That's funny. My dad is actually Zooming with his dad later today to debate this very topics. You know what else he lied about? Filing this lawsuit. There's no lawsuit he ever filed, at least that I can find in the public record, which lawsuits are public record. So he is a liar as far, the evidence does suggest.
Yeah, and the thing is that, you know, they go on and on about getting demonetized from YouTube or whatever it is, and they never, for them, it's really just a way of generating clicks. There are
the same with
policies.
The lawsuit.
Yeah, I mean, there are policies that you could pursue, but he can't ever address those because his ideology is such that there's no way for him to address it as a policy matter. So because as a policy matter, he'd have to agree that there needs to be government regulation of these things.
Yes, McRibs. Steven Crowder doesn't like virtue signaling, but he straps up to go to work like a disgruntled employee. I mean, that's what it is. That's what it is for all those people who watch his show and him. It's like their whole thing is like, you know, putting on their makeup, which is gun holsters. And, you know, I live in Texas. In that case, it's like pretending to be a cowboy and pretending to be a tough guy and putting, you know, a gun stickers on your car and
And he doesn't believe in government regulation. And so he just goes out there and makes it as if it's like conservatives are somehow being oppressed, as opposed to...
It's actually not true at all. Everybody who talks about these issues, if they're taking a conservative or liberal stance on them, they're all getting demonetized equally. The fact that Steven wants to go out there and do a mock execution of George Floyd and then act bewildered when his channel gets... when his videos get demonetized, it's quite surprising to me that he would even be feigned surprised at that.
Yeah, we get, I don't know what our percentage of demonetization is for our videos. It happens. We just don't whine about it like they do and use...
Clammy, you there?
Hey, yeah, I'm here.
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, what's up, dude?
Hey, bud. Yeah, I think I got disconnected earlier. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Oh man, Greg's got weird audio problems too, right?
Yeah.
Whoa, that's not good. We'll try to pull Greg back in.
Chewy time.
Sorry about that. Go, This name of yours, Clam Slammer. You know, it's a little. I feel like it's really on the edge, but I appreciate you and I love you. What do you got to say today?
So we did speak once. I don't know if you recall.
Of course. How could I forget?
Yeah, the first time, last time.
Every time
we ever met.
Every time I talk to you feels like the first time.
That's wonderful. So you guys were doing like some stuff with like punchline rap.
Those are naughty thoughts.
And I actually wrote out some stuff. It's
Wait,
gonna
can
make
you?
everybody.
I'm sorry, I messed up. I messed up your intro. Can you say it? We'll start over one more time. I'm so sorry, Clam.
No worries. You guys were doing some stuff with like the riff raff rap. I think you were talking about like punchline rap, where like you have like, you know, A, B, and then it comes back to like the punchline.
Yes, classic rap form. Yes.
Well, no. Different, but yeah. Anyway, I wrote 4 verses, and it's gonna make everybody cringe, but I'm gonna do it. I'm a clam sounder. I'll piss in your chowder. I'm a pounder of Crowder, hissing like steamers. They hate my demeanor. Eat ochre with Oprah stolen. I'm too slick for soap, huh? His pants, they are soaked. Intellectually broke. I don't need a holster. I'm moister than oysters. That drip I anoint her. Can lend you some pointers. I can't pay no doctor bill because Crowder is a goon. Bad mustache like Dr. Phil, and Whitey's on the moon. Which the last one.
And Whitey's on the moon.
Yeah, like, you know, like Gil Scott Heron.
Yes, of course. We gotta come back to that and do our own version of Whitey's on the moon. Sam Cedars yelling at Steven Crowder and Whitey's on the moon. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Anyway, I gave the guy a snack cake, and it was like, "Thanks, man." But yeah, I think I got to get a picture of this dude to see what you think.
Let's do it.
And there was another one.
Hey, Emmy.
Hey, what's going on? No.
Oh my God! Wow.
God is right.
His audio is out of control, my friend.
Oh, for real. How am I supposed to follow Clam Slammer's rap? I have nothing. But he was doing it for me on the.
Do you have a Whitey's on the moon type rhyme you could do?
I have nothing. I'm sorry. I came completely unprepared today. I didn't even.
Sorry, I had to. I'll bring you back.
To generate clicks. It's because we're willing.
It's clear that the only reason anybody wants to watch this is to see the Sammy drama.
To talk about topics that we know. I mean, we don't do shit like what Crowder does that are just out and out racist and homophobic. But we will talk about protests. We will talk about political situations that advertisers don't want to be a part of.
Absolutely.
And that's just part of doing the job responsibly, is understanding you're not going to be able to suck $1 out of every single bit of content if you're actually trying to make a point about issues.
And one other thing he keeps bringing up, apparently the reason he's ducked you, Sam, is because you only have 1 million subscribers.
I know it.
And I'd actually challenge somebody to go through all of the interviews he's done and find any with under 1 million, because that would be quite ironic.
Yeah, I find it hard to believe that Steven has that metric, particularly since half of his, all of his Change My Minds are with college students who may not even have a YouTube channel.
Right. You have more subs than them, surely.
At least a couple more than them.
Yeah. Well, I feel we got him pretty good here, Sam.
Well, I would have liked to had an exchange of ideas.
That's so fun. Like, I mean, it's pretty odd, but he did escape. Like, that's so funny. Like, he's like, okay, bye, and then he like clicks off. It's so sad. Such a sad, like, it's almost like a cartoonish, like Karate Kid 90s movie version of like a bully getting dunked in the toilet. It's ridiculous.
With Steven, so I'm a little bit disappointed, and I know how much you were looking forward to that too. We had, but I guess Steven is just more
He
interested in
filibustered, yeah,
personalities than
exactly.
he is actually
issues.
debating issues.
Yeah.
It's sort of sad.
It is
It's sort of
sad.
sad
It
in
is
that
sad
regard.
because he claims he's a political thinker, but he didn't think much in this case.
I got to wonder if there are members of his audience right now who are probably thinking like, hey, wait a second, maybe Stephen is actually afraid of having some type of exchange. I mean, he spent, how many times did he say in the preface of going on air with you, you know, a lot of times people won't show up for debates with me. And
Here we are, baby.
He only wants to debate, you know, people who have a perspective on the left that have a YouTube channel that's over 1 million. Well, maybe you've got to expand.
J-Bone, are you there? J-Bone?
Hey, Jay.
Jay? Yo.
Hey, what up, Jay? Jay.
Steven Crowder, Sam Cedar.
What do you think?
Whitey's on the moon. H3.
And Whitey's
going
on the
at
moon.
it. They're all on the moon. Don't know if you have any police fans out.
How about, like, you know what would be a
Long
good
time
one? Would be like Elon Musk, stock price going
Jeff
up, but
Bezos.
Whitey's on the moon. Jeff Bezos on the moon.
Those are the two people that are most wrong. I mean, we can dunk on Crowder all day. He's just the grifter.
Should that whole thing be changed? Instead of Whitey's on the moon, it should be changed to Bazy, maybe Bazy's on the moon.
Bazy's Elon ripping apart the country.
J-Bone, so what do you think?
You know, I think that H3 guy, honestly, positive reinforcement or constructive criticism. That H3 guy probably should have quit talking at some point. He was trying to like talk over it, and I think that got in the way of Sam's game a little bit.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
What can you do though? I mean, debates. I get it. It's cool. You know.
It's drama. It's good drama. It's good. People like to see. It's part of I think people's. There's something in human brain that likes to see people compete. They think it's sports. It's like sports and blah blah blah, and it's easy to understand. Do I think like a lot of value comes out of debates? No, not really.
Nope.
It can, but not not as much as like reading a book or listening to the Wolfman or something, But
ow!
But
he did get exposed.
He did get exposed. Who? Steven Crowder or the Wolfman?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Wolfman.
it's a funny. It almost seems like if somebody was like, oh yeah, like all of them set this up as a click thing, I wouldn't be super shocked because it's funny. It's very funny and dramatic and YouTube drama content, and we gotta love it.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I think it was a good thing at the end of the day.
All right, Bone, I'll bring you back on in a second.
Your horizon.
If Ethan didn't talk over Sam Cedar, Crowder would have. Yeah, either the dude was just trying to fill space.
Maybe you should be looking to debate people who are actually proficient in debating and the topics itself. Instead of, he referred to me as a layup, and I would agree with him in that I'm not politically savvy and I'm not a debater. So what actual value is there in debating me for him, other than for him to look smart and get an easy point?
Exactly. But let me say this, that the original points that you were making about when it came to like the masks, I've interviewed, I don't know, half a dozen different epidemiologists, maybe a little bit more over the past year on the show. Some of the top epidemiologists in the country. And the fact of the matter is that there was confusion and really not the science was not settled on the way that COVID was transferred. They didn't realize that it could be aerosolized. But the bottom line is that wearing masks, once they understood this, the downside to wearing masks is nil.
Zero. Well, yeah, according to Steven, scientists are not ever allowed to change their mind. See, scientists.
Special thanks to Jane. Jane, you're gonna go buy some doinks? Jane's going to buy some doinks, guys. give us an update. How many doinks did you buy? Did you smoke are these legal doinks? Are you in Washington or whatever? Go and tell us.
Scientists need to be right the first time and only the first time. They're not allowed to change their stance with data and research. And if they do, then they're frauds forever. For everything. Right. I mean, I even saw Steven talking about, Fauci was wrong about AIDS back in, what was it?
Somebody says that double chin that Ethan has is distracting. Billy Boy Blue, you're a body shamer. And look, I can't judge on that. Luckily this webcam is facing like almost down on top of my head. If I put that level, it's just like the blob. Like I just got blob face. Really no neck. You know what I mean? It's just like goes right into the shirt. So I'm not going to judge Klein.
The early 80s, and that's proof.
Right.
Fauci was wrong sometime previously in his career. So therefore, he is a fraud forever.
Speaking of fraud, I noticed that Crowder put up an email, making a big deal about these emails from Fauci. And one of them he put up was from February 12th, where Fauci was saying, we don't think masks for the general public is going to be that effective or make a...
I don't know, going off about I call him Dr. Crouchy. Look, to be honest, I have a hard time caring about Dr. Fauci, but probably anybody who's that high up in the government is probably a little weird. But, Bulletproof Bra, are you there? Deacons, are you there? Deacons?
Deacons, myself, holy shit.
Hey, what up, Deke?
Hey, what up, Deke? Hey, what up, Deke? Can you hear me?
You loud and clear? Do you hear me?
Deke, I can hear you. What up, my dude? Have you been watching the program?
Man, I have been wheezing laughing at this clown.
This is a funny one. This is I think, a classic YouTube drama moment. Like, this should go down in the history of YouTube, When the aliens come and they find the hard drive that's left of humanity. Like, this is in there as, like, an example of, like, a funny YouTube drama, right?
It was weird. The best that Crowder could do was that weird Velveteen Rabbit shit. Like, that seemed like from another decade. Like somebody at an old-timey speakeasy being like, oh, you got that little Velveteen Rabbit on your nose, dude?
I think it's an example of, like, getting soft, maybe, like when you're just kind of like, showered with money, and the people who watch you are not, they're not the brightest. Maybe that's why they watch you. Not their fault. Not on them, You don't have to work very hard, and you end up saying
fitting a bit tighter lately.
Yeah. Exactly. You end up with you end up saying stuff that's like really from another time.
So I gotta confess, I'm glad you pulled me in because I wanted to put you on blast for something if you're ready to get blasted.
Yes, please, Deke. Let's do it.
I'm always ready to get blasted, yes.
All right, I gotta keep you honest. I watch all your shit.
Oh, damn.
You have said you've been to 2 U.S. states, New Mexico and Ohio. Is that correct? Then how in God's green creation, then, did you visit the Harvard Tavern in Michigan per your own claim in a subsequent video?
Yeah, well, why don't you take off those glasses? Because what's your eyes look like under those glasses? Oh, no, he's
gonna run. Don't run, coward.
Cut off the stream. Also, like, isn't it funny that it's sort of weird to have your dad as a manager? If that's true, that is truly weird.
I wonder if he pays him, or if it's just like, hey, you're my dad, like, I'm not paying you. And that's why he does it, right?
I would imagine, too, it's like one of those, like, I can't trust anybody situations where, like, everybody around me is such a cretin that, like, I need to pull in, like, a family member just because, like, this is such a scam that, like, all of these people would literally, like, throw me off a bridge for an extra $10,
I mean, maybe we've got little boy Crowder all wrong here, right? Maybe he's at the end of a long leash, dancing for daddy. Doesn't even want to be out on stage. Daddy's like, you got to wear the gun holster, Steven. Wear the gun holster. No, daddy, no, I don't want to. But he's got to do it. Daddy's paying all the bills. So he goes out there and he's got this Kleenex right there on his desk. So he dries his wet little eyes and turns on the camera.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that.
Yeah, I mean his show, he really got started with like the Prager people and the Blaze, so he's really connected to this whole like right-wing welfare ecosystem that gets these people started, like Steven Crowder's...
Do we know for sure that Dennis Prager isn't his dad?
Oh, that would be beautiful. That would be beautiful.
Has that been confirmed? Because that would actually make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
the man behind the throne.
We got Dennis Prager, you got to say that is a good old guy look, right? Like he looks like if you had to draw an old guy, an old white guy, you would end up with a drawing of Dennis Prager.
In any clothing from any millennia. Seersucker, weird like French uniform, like whatever. It still looks good on old Denny Prags.
Matt, I got to give a thanks to Matt Randazzo. Very good last name. Do you hear that last name, Deacons? Matt Randazzo. Wait, Matt Randazzo. Matt Rand. Thank you, Matt Randazzo. I'm not even joking. That is a cool name. I wish my last name was cool and interesting sounding too. It's almost like Crowder thinks science is a religion and not a process. Yeah, he's a dimwit. No neck gang. Thank you, Squid for Hire. Yes, I'm definitely part of the no neck gang. Like I have to. It's really sad, Deacons. Maybe you've experienced this, but it's really sad when you have to edit video of yourself, and you look at yourself and you're just like, wow, I look like some kind of a turtle mixed with a ferret or something.
The worst part for me is my voice, and that's particularly harsh because that's all you're getting from me right now. But whenever I hear my voice, it's like, wait, who the fuck is that nerd? And it's always me. Yeah, it's always me.
I think that I've just gotten used to it because I used to hear my voice and I'd be like, I literally want to strangle that person. I want that person to be dead. And now I'm just like, whatever. I'm used to it now. But
that's the thing, right? You've got that voice, but you've also got like a dozen other accents you can do from like other cities and states. So why do you just do your real voice? Why not do like a Kentucky accent or Oklahoma accent?
I think, I think we should just start. I think people think that it's racist, but we should just start adopting accents. Like we'll just be like, yes, welcome to the show. We are going to have a good time today. We are going to watch a Sammy Seater talking about, just like, that sounds a little bit more interesting.
I would actually believe that's your voice, right? I bought that immediately.
Thank you very much. Deacons, I will talk to you. How do you say I talk to you later, okay?
Flushing toilets.
I love you. Bye-bye. I forgot to do this.
You're flushed.
That's when you get flushed. Very good. No neck gang. I don't know where my neck went. I just don't have one anymore.
Which is what he said publicly.
Which is what he said publicly a month later. But the fact is that the development of the science behind...
We'll go late because pretty much all... Look, guys, I don't know from streaming that much. I'm not Destiny or Vaunch or any of these people. I don't know what they got going on. I don't really know how to stream. So, I don't like all this just sitting and watching a thing and just like cackling. You know what I mean? So we'll go late.
Behind aerosolization of the virus was an ongoing effort. Wasn't until late April that they started to realize this is the way it's going through there. And then it's not easy to take a novel new coronavirus and assess what are the size of the part.
I kind of want to. I think it would be like the real outcome of this should be that Ethan Klein and Sam Cedar become friends and they hang out. You know what I mean? Look who it is. Look who shows her face.
Hey, what's up, MK?
Hello.
Hello?
Mary?
Can you hear me?
Mary, what's up?
What's up?
Hello. Mary, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, but your audio is I would say it's like a D minus.
Atrocious. All right. How about now?
Are you speaking into like a Logitech webcam microphone from like the late 90s or something?
I'm speaking into my headphone mic, which might not be great.
That sounds a little bit better if you keep it on that point. What's going on, Mary Kate? Haven't heard from you in a while. This, for anybody watching, this is Mary Kate. She is really one of the best characters on this show. Makes this thing happen. Has always made this thing happen. And Mary Kate, what in God's name is going on with you lately? And what do you think about this? Man, this YouTube drama.
Well, I was not going to go into it, but I was technically dead for a few seconds earlier this month, so that was cool.
Oh my God.
Nothing happens. It's just black. Anyways, so I can't get over. I thought the best part was just when they were talking to Chowder, because his reaction to being confronted is even worse than I thought it would be. Like, can you imagine him getting in like a fight with his wife? He just starts yelling like the kids I'd get in fights with on the playground, like where they're about to cry but they don't want to, and they're like, "I'm not crying. I'm just allergic to tears. I'm not crying." And then they start like talking really loud and really fast and just saying like, "Well, you just came on my show. You came on my show, and I'm not crying." And they start giggling. Like that's exactly how he comes off. So can you imagine being his wife?
Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, it's that's a rough one. That's a rough one. Knowing that the person you married is kind of like a professional rat, you know?
I wouldn't call him a rat because rats are pretty cool. I thought we went over this.
That's right. Mary Kate, you take what would be like an animal that we could what would be an animal that is not like something that people actually take care of and love and that we find? Maybe like a cockroach? A roach?
Yeah, that works.
Okay,
That works. I don't like them. They're terrifying.
People don't have pet roaches, right?
Wally did, but that's besides the point.
Why? Wallace, that robot?
Yeah, Wallace. He did have a pet roach, and I was very attached to it, but he was special. Let's just go with that.
Okay, so this it must be tough, because when you marry somebody, you have all these experiences with them, and you're like, oh, this person, I see all the dimensions of this person, but to know that their character is basically like a bigot and a creep who's basically like kind of tricking people who don't have like the mental capacity or the time to read books and look things up. Basically tricking them, and then they get publicly humiliated and shamed by probably the biggest YouTube channel in the world. It must be tough, right, in a relationship to deal with that kind of thing?
Yeah, but from a third-party perspective, it's really a beautiful, epic. That's where the music swelled. It was just such a great moment for everyone on YouTube. So I'm not complaining. His wife, she has options. She has options.
Got to give a little shout out to Jane here, who says that there's a theory that you were kidnapped by the CIA. Are you at liberty to talk about that at all, or what's going on with that?
I can neither confirm nor deny this statement, and I'm going to leave it up to speculation.
All right, very good.
But I when you guys are talking about accents, and you're doing accents, I just wanted to tell you guys something that happened to me that was pretty funny. In short, I dated this guy, and he always spoke in a British accent. He had this whole backstory about how he was from London, and he was like a model and an actor. He's like really attractive, so like I believed him.
Oh, Mary Kate's doing a little bit of showing off. Is that true?
No. The thing is, after I stopped talking to him because he made me sad. Then I was acting, funnily enough, with a girl named Ashley. She was my co-star in this movie. And she had dated him as well. And she told me that he's not British. So I was like, no way. Like, he had a whole backstory. He's British. And she called him with me there, and he answered, and he's like, hello, in a totally American accent.
Ooh,
so
busted.
basically, I dated this guy who pretended to be British for months
Oh.
and always spoke to me in a British accent. So, I mean, if that little bitch can get away with it, never doubt yourself. Just work on your accent. You'll manage, I promise.
Totally.
It's an inspirational story.
This might also act as a warning to Chipford, because we got that one guy who seems like a really good match for Chippy. He's a really nice guy. If Richard Nixon was good at football, that dude seems like a nice guy and a good match for Chipford. But Chippy is like not, she's into the guy with the British voice. Might be fake. You hear that, Chippy? Chip could be fake.
All kinds of like British pretenders out there. You got to get the real thing. If his teeth are too nice, back off. That's all I'm
Okay,
gonna say.
Mary Kate, we're not going to get into this racism that you're spewing. The real recipients of racism through history, the British.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they're just denigrated.
Mary Kate, I'm glad you're okay. We all love you here. We're all very proud of you. You take care of these dirty little rats that you love. Is a guinea pig? Where does the guinea pig fall? Is that a rat? What kind of animal is that?
Chewy time.
They're all rodents.
Okay.
So they fall into their own space. I did want to ask you a couple of questions before I go, though.
Fire them away, please.
And frankly, you owe it to your audience because I have been missed. All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I feel like whenever someone talks about a movie to you, they'll be like, I saw this 37-minute and 2-second Russian student film that only played in one theater ever. And you're like, oh, yeah, that movie. I saw that movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering, what are some not mainstream, but what are some fairly known movies that you have intended to watch but haven't? Because I feel like you've seen literally everything.
No, there's some pretty obvious ones that I haven't seen. Like, I've only seen parts of Avatar, which I know Avatar is one where like people who just kind of casually watch movies love it, and people who are like really obsessed with movies love Avatar. So Avatar is like an obvious one. I think there's a bunch of like really like mainstream big movies that I haven't seen, but I think Avatar is probably like the most like disgusting one.
Disgusting.
You're just too hipster for that, I guess.
I'm people are saying. Not me, but a lot of people are saying that I'm just way too cool for that. Before we go on, I got to read something from SC. Why did Mary Kate? I'll ask you this: why did the Scarecrow get an award?
Oh, I already saw it. He was outstanding in his field. I know all the dad jokes. It's too late. You can't get me.
Very good, very good. I was trying to find the Adam Carolla noise, but I can't find. Oh, there it is. That's what I thought when I heard that joke. Oh, and by the way, Dance on Fire. Dance on Fire. His real name is it's Caleb, the instructor that my hustle business that I do, my hustle program that I do. He took it and he says, it's Caleb. My son did pass away, but I did receive my empanada. Very good. Billy Boy Blue says, Avatar insisted upon itself. Yes. Avatar is like you have to watch it, so I will watch it. Sorry, Mary Kate, please continue.
If anyone wants to watch Avatar, just join RM's hustle program. Like I made $13. I made $13 from that hustle program.
Oh hell yeah!
It was incredible.
It's already. It is $1,000. It's multiple installments of $1,000, but you're already recouping that money.
Yeah, exactly.
You're only at negative $4,083 in the red.
Information on screen. That's top secret. All right. People don't need to know all the details yet.
If we can't kick back on a Saturday and watch a Serbian film, then we're not on the same level. That's another one that I just, I like some of those really like intense, gross movies. I kind of don't like honestly, I Seen the Devil was a pretty intense, had some really like intense content in it. But there's some of that stuff that I'm just like, I feel like I might be too old for, Like I probably wouldn't watch Requiem for a Dream again. Yeah, old boy.
I disagree with that. I mean, I disagree with that. You're definitely like 12 years old inside, and you need to hold on to that.
Oh, that's definitely true. That's definitely true. Well, Mary Kate, do you have anything else for us tonight, or should you get the boot and the flush?
One more. You need to do music, like you need to do like serious analytical musical reviews on Bob McDonald's. Okay, Tom McDonald. I call him Bob McDonald's. You have to do serious videos on him, like satirical. I think that would be fantastic. I really wanted to see your take on snowflakes. And I didn't get.
I read a little bit of that on one of these streams, and it is what it is. It is what it is. I would love to hear.
Yeah.
I feel like I would love to get somebody like somebody older, maybe get Rick Wolf back on and have him just read Tom McDonald's this, and he'll be like, "This is a nation in decline." Like that'll be him.
Oh my god, the sound bites you would get.
Oh my god, he's the soundbite machine, that guy. All right, MK Ultra, please keep us updated on what the CIA is doing to you, and we'll talk to you soon, okay?
Alrighty, I'm not at liberty, but I will. Goodbye.
Love, yeah.
Chewy time. Chewy time.
I'm almost out of my 40 hours of I'm almost out of my 40 hours of net zero, though. Please respond with the rest of the course. I'm about to be evicted. I mean, look, this is my story. I was able to find success with just 40 hours of net zero. And if you can't do it, you're just not keeping up, my man. You're just not good enough, my man. So the market decides to go bye-bye for you.
Articles. Right. But the bottom line is, once they said do masks, it is an easy lift to wear a mask. It sucks, but it was the...
William Shatner needs to cover Tom McDonald. Chad Alpha says that'd be really funny. He'd be like, snowflakes, or what's his name? Christopher Walken could do it. Christopher Walken as William Shatner. Snowflakes. Wow. Whoa. This is what my stream's coming to, that I'm just doing like Christopher Walken impressions. Richard Nixon's back in the chat. Paid several installments of... You're not getting a refund, dude.
The safest thing to do, and I'm sitting here with a study. I mean, they're really starting to come out now, that the masks cut down by anywhere from 25 to 35% on the transmission. And so the idea that there are some scientists, he talks about aggregating the science. Look, he doesn't know how to aggregate. He's afraid to debate me. And a guy with 1 million subscribers on YouTube. He's not aggregating the science. There are professionals who aggregate the science.
Sam, do you think that the size of your sub count is there a correlation to your skills as a debater? That seems to be what Crowder's understanding is.
Apparently,
yeah.
Or it's just that he is looking for any excuse as to
RM doing Christopher Walken doing Sam Cedar. What would that be like? Christopher Walken as Sam Cedar in the Sam Cedar biopic. It would be like, let's pause. Jamie, I don't agree with her. Whoa, Jamie, she's got the tattoos. Whoa. My walk-in is not. I really can't do a walk. I think at one point I could do it. I can't do it anymore. Matt Binder. Whoa, there he is.
Why he doesn't want to have a conversation with somebody who actually, day in, day out, reads this stuff and talks to scientists and talks to reporters. I mean, look, you can find a lot of people who will say the Earth is flat. And if I aggregate those all the...
This is a big moment. This is a really big moment because I have more people watching now, I think, than Progressive Voice. Okay? So you can die, Progressive Voice. You piece of shit, you. I'm just kidding. He seems like
scientists
a
who
nice
say
guy.
The Earth is in fact not flat. Then you could say there's some questions. But that's not the way that science works. The fact of the matter is that we have a basic understanding of what's going on. And the idea of you saying, listen to the scientists, particularly addressing YouTube guys.
Well,
right?
Yeah, when you're Steven Crowder.
That's a good idea.
Thank you. Yeah, so obviously our whole little battle came when Steven said it's his favorite clip of the year of us saying, listen, if you're like, it's okay to listen to scientists who are.
I came from the PV channel. Tell him I'm taking all his subscribers. That guy who's 2 decades younger than me, probably. I think this is funny too because, like, I think part of what's funny about this too is like, I think, like, Sam Cedar's heart is kind of like more into this stuff, So you don't want to, if you're Steven Crowder, you don't want to do like extra work, If you were just like, you're working at some shitty company doing something that you're just grinding it out. It's not like, hey, now you're gonna be thrown into some. It's like, no, I'm not getting paid to do that. I feel like that's probably part of his attitude too. It's like, I'm a grifter. I'm trying to do the easiest possible grift here. I'm not gonna do extra credit.
We're trying to save. It's okay. You don't need to question every single thing that comes across your desk, especially if you have no qualifications at all to assess this information. The fact that we need to be skeptical of every single thing of our government, that we don't trust our government to that extent, then our society has failed us in a way that we should just end it now.
But I think, like, you can be skeptical, but the fact of the matter is that what Crowder is not doing, he's not being skeptical in any type of thoughtful way. He is weaponizing doubts that happen to align with his political ideology. We saw it with the president that he was so supportive of. I mean, it's not hard to find.
Marcus, are you there? Marcus from Manitoba? Are you there?
Marcus, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Hey, what up,
How are you?
Hello, Marcus.
Hey, what up, Marcus? How are you, dude? Chewy time.
Marcus, can you hear me okay? Sorry, I'm having a little audio issues there.
Yeah, I didn't understand any of the past few seconds there, but now I can understand you.
Hold on, let me. It's this co-heist guy I have named Greg.
Oh, he's calling in from another dimension.
Yeah, his audio is really weird. Greg, can you try it again?
Yeah, I think it's better now. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a bit clearer. I mean, there's a bit of
fix that.
I think a bit of interdimensional interference.
I think my codec needs updated.
I think my codec needs to be updated. He says his codec needs to be updated. I don't even know what that means.
I don't know.
Marcus, what's going on with you? Are you watching this pretty funny YouTube drama?
It is pretty. I found it very intellectually stimulating. I really think they got deep into the core issues of our time.
I definitely learned a lot, I think, about history and U.S. politics. And
I was really impressed by Crowder's take on the intricacies of how big a channel needs to be in order for him to debate them.
Exactly. It's funny because there's been this viral clip going around that just happened like a couple days ago, where Steven Crowder is literally saying that like gay men are dangerous.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that this kind of stuff is still resonating.
How is this being made in the year 2021? Okay, not to make like it's the current year type argument, but like.
No, I mean, I think that's totally legit.
What I wonder is,
how are we this far behind?
Is like, who is watching this? Who watches him?
I mean, I think we're
someone who would even watch this.
We're I mean, I don't think. Well, I did like a couple years back, maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. I worked in an office. I think I've told this story where there was a dude who was a really nice guy, to be honest, and he kind of fell down the rabbit hole with like PragerU ads and Dave Rubin, and he's just like, and I think part of why he liked this stuff is because it felt like a little bit counterculturally, like, oh, these guys are telling the truth that you're not allowed to say.
I can sympathize with that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I can sympathize with that, but I would have thought, like, I mean, like I remember I used to watch like some of some of these channels, like as well as like other. I still to some degree watch channels from across the political spectrum, although it's mostly more progressive stuff. But like when I look for like a channel, when I'm looking for political commentary, right? I usually try to look for someone with like at least a modicum of like intellectual, rigor, or like.
I think really like the biggest kind of lesson, I think, like with people, with that many people, 6 million subscribers and 1 million views every time he uploads a video with Crowder, is really, I think a big part of it is that people are, I think a lot of people are like, they don't have like time. They don't have enough time. They don't have time to like, it takes a lot of time to read. It takes a lot of time to like understand how this stuff
or
works.
even just like think through the logic of what is of what you believe, or
that's a really good point. Yes, just
or
having the
what is being
time.
said.
Yes, having the. That's a great point. Like this is something that even I have a hard time doing. Is just like, let's just sit down and really think through something and see like, what do you really believe about something, or what do you really like want out of life, or what do you want out of a relationship, or it really takes time to just sit, not reading, not watching something, but to just sit quietly and work that stuff out in your own head. It takes a lot of time.
Exactly. And like, I think there's just like a good chunk of the population for whom like, there's just no time. There's just, I don't know, they've got like a sports game on that they need to watch. They've got work to do. And like in between they need to get some, I guess some pant foaming.
Yeah, and I think that's part of it, is that they're, and I think that's part of like my coworker who went down the thing, is you're working so much, you're working at a job that's pretty meaningless, and it's like in the technical sense of the word, pretty alienated, and so you're kind of you're vaguely pissed off. So you want something that sounds angry and
something to direct it at.
Exactly. And there's people,
or just like, I mean, like the way I see it, right? In a way, that's kind of what the entire conservative spectrum of politics has become, at least recently.
Oh,
right? With Donald Trump, and at least in the U.S., like in Canada.
You could go back to the brown shirts and the black shirts and all this crap. It's the same general idea of like people who are pissed off and they don't know why.
It's not just that like it's about directing or redirecting anger, but also that like it's people looking for it's just emotionalism, and people looking for some outlet, whether for their anger or for their desire to sort of to be part of something, feel like they're part of a movement.
Yeah,
and that sort of like aesthetic view of politics, I think, is sort of reaches its apex in a figure like Donald Trump.
Oh,
where
yeah.
He's like his supporters are really like more. I mean, I don't know. Perhaps I'm not acquainted with the finer tenets of Trumpism, right? The great amount of Trumpist literature and thought and theory that is undoubtedly behind this movement.
Hey, why? Why?
To me, it just seems like these people are like part of a fan club.
Yeah, I think that it's probably there's more to it than there's some people who say, well, like Richard Wolff would say, like, oh, well, these people are financially desperate, a lot of them.
Sure, but they're not thinking about that, right?
I think it's a mix. I think that like a lot of these Crowder fans and people like that, it's a mix. There's people who are like, there's literally probably a lot of people who are just like trying to figure the world out and need a frame they need a lens to view the world through, and like somebody's like, here, take this, and they put it on, and it's that simple, you know. I think there are people who are just really pissed off and saying and putting that energy toward people of color and LGBTQ people and all this stuff is like a very easy and sort of knee-jerk thing that they can do, and people from different countries and so on. It's a lot of that, and none of it's good, you know. It's just a mix of different problemos.
Yeah, but like I don't know. It seems like there's just like people just want, like, they're treating politics like it's either like a game show or at least the people who aren't desperate, right? The people who are, I don't know, middle class suburbanites.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Like,
yeah,
I just want someone who's entertaining to be.
Well, that's
for whatever reason they find entertaining.
That's kind of something. And look, I'm not like a genius, a political genius, or like a historical, a history teacher or something. But like you hear about stuff like this sort of realignment. You know, if you read a book like Nixon Land, which I would recommend to everybody, or you hear about this sort of Southern strategy stuff where there was kind of a consensus of like, yeah, like we all like the New Deal. We all like, things that make our lives in some way like materially better. So we all vote for the people who do that stuff. But it's sort of like, look, if those people can be tricked with like racism if they can be tricked out of fear of like a black person moving into their neighborhood, like how like strong is the material stuff, like if it can be thrown off that much? I don't know, it's sort of a weird question that I've been thinking. It's something that I actually want to get Richard Wolff back to talk about, but like you were saying, yeah, there are these people who are not like financially desperate, who are like super big into this Crowder Trump stuff, and I think those are the people who are really afraid of falling through the cracks and becoming going from the upper middle class to the lower class, and and they're pretty. Yes, exactly. A lot of those people are really stupid too. Like I've worked with a lot of those people who are PMCs or whatever you would call them, and a lot of them are just really true idiots, deeply stupid people.
And people who are really fundamentally unconcerned, or at least they don't really have much. Much of a stake in the game apart from just aesthetics, what they would like society to look like or be like, having the aesthetics of being part of some ideology or some movement, which is what I think the whole MAGA phenomenon is. And speaking of aesthetics in politics and populism, I have something to confront you on. I have a bit of drama that I would like to drag you into.
Okay,
if you don't mind.
Go quick, do it. Or
I may have to do. I apologize for doing this, but I was wondering what your opinion is on, the recent blow up with Demi Jor and the juvenile Turks, or the. Do you have an opinion on that?
On Jimmy, let me see. I kind of talked to somebody about this on one of the stream. I kind of like that. Speaking of Sam Cedar having feuds with people, I like that Sam Cedar like hates Jimmy Dore, because I don't know really any. I've watched maybe like an hour total of Jimmy Dore, and I think that that Jimmy Dore seems like if you left Sam Cedar in a hot car for too long and he kind of melted or something.
Yes, he's a melted. I see him as a sort of like the sort of inbred stepchild of the Young Turks.
Yeah, I mean he's like, I mean, this is another thing. I saw a clip. Somebody sent me a clip of that guy Vosh, who I think, I mean, I haven't watched him in a long time, but generally I think he seems like he's in the going in the right direction and blah blah blah. But he was talking about how Brianna Joy Gray is like disgusting or something. Like he used some word that she's like reprehensible, and I was like, dude, she's probably like 0.2% politically like different than he. So just like calm down. It makes it all seem like a little bit of a video game when we get into like people who are generally have the same views on like big policy things, like all hating on each other. Because you need, if you really wanted this stuff to happen, I think you would need those people to all be kind of like together on crap, you know. So I don't know, but
I guess so. Mark, I can sympathize with that, but I mean, with some people though, and with especially with Jimmy Dore, the problem is that they kind of don't want to help. They're kind of actively fighting against.
Yeah, that's
that would actually improve things.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is that he's also like, I get the impression from a lot of these people.
He's really the one antagonizing everyone else.
Yeah, and it's like you know, he's an entertain, like he found an avenue for like show business. You know, it's like he's a show business guy who happens to have some political content. Anyway, I'll talk to you later, Marcus. Sorry, had to give Marcus the flush there. I had to give Marcus the.
You flushed.
That graphic. Oh my God.
Many clips of Trump saying this is just going to go away. It's not really serious. There's only a couple of cases. We shouldn't even test.
Right.
And Crowder, that's why Crowder was doing it. I mean, if he was doing a genuinely skeptical, you know, sort of like categorization and cataloging of the science and laying it out there in a way that showed some measure of integrity. But let's be honest. I mean, people just watch this. Crowder had the opportunity to debate this with somebody who is serious about it and wanted to debate with him. I did nothing but, you know, approach this.
Chippy, are you there?
Chippy?
Hey,
Chippy, I know you wanted to kind of ease back, so you don't have to talk if you don't want to. But there's been a lot of talk about you on this stream. Did you hear that guy who was saying he's a little bit jealous of the British voice guy?
Yeah, I mean, there's a bit of war going on.
There's there's blood in the water right now. There's all these fish are swarming around, you know, for trying to get the what would they be eating? Chum or something? You're the chum. You're the chum.
Oh
right?
God, they're all taking a bite of me.
Yeah.
And they are being sneaky, you know, because like some of them talk on the toilet, but some of them they take it on the side.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So some of them are they're getting into the DMs. They're trying to like one up each other and stuff. Oh boy.
Bro, from day one they've been sliding on those DMs, saying how cute I am, and I'm like,
oh boy. I gotta say though, like that dude if Richard Nixon was good at football, he sounds very into you and very committed, but also he's a little concerned that the British accent is gonna get him flushed.
The problem with the British guy is that he's already like dunked on 2 of my like, you know, moves. Like I was making moves on him. I sent him like a hugging and kissing gif on the toilet, and he was like, that's super cute, but like you're too tall on that gif. And I was like, what? That's not the point.
Richard Nixon? Richard Nixon
No,
said
not
that?
Richard Nixon.
Okay.
No, the British guy.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's like trashing my moves.
Oh boy.
And I don't know.
Oh,
he better.
So the competition is pretty close. Richard Nixon might have a shot here.
Yeah, I mean, if he keeps doing what he's doing, you know, I heard the whole about the stars being aligned and stuff. I mean,
if he keeps doing what he's doing, I like this. I like this. Well, I think. Look, Chippy, I think like one of the ultimate tests of these guys, of these possible suitors or whatever, should be that they have to talk to your mom, because
Oh my God.
because she sounds like she's not taking any of this bull crap.
I mean, I would have to keep her up. I don't know if she'll stay up long enough to.
That sounds
to
very
trash on these boys.
Sounds very mom like. All right, well, Chippy, I'll let you go. I'll talk to you later.
All right, talk to you later.
Bye bye. Classic Chippy. Classic Chippy. A lot of Jimmy Dore fans in here. I mean, look, I think that I will, the thing is, I haven't really watched enough. I mean, he seems like, and then there's this other thing that they were all talking about where he kind of like supposedly harassed Anna Kasparian. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. But Michael S. says, Jimmy is actually the guy that wants to get stuff done. The others are the type of libs Malcolm and Martin warned about. By the way, when I say like that's pretty bad, like that's obviously like that's unacceptable to like harass people. It's like you see like apologize. I don't know. Like it's drama. But in general, I think like if you were serious about this, you would make Jimmy Dore an ally. And you would talk to Jimmy Dore and you would try to pull him over to your side and you would convince him and You wouldn't just be like, he's a piece of shit and he needs to die or whatever. But Jimmy is actually the guy that wants to get stuff done, and the others are the type of libs Malcolm and Martin warned about. Like even Sam Cedar? I don't know, because I mean I don't agree with everything with Sam Cedar, but I would say that it's pretty bad to Mary Kate. Come on, obviously no. I absolutely do not support. The only thing, like he did this thing where he said that her skirt was too short or something like that, and then he was like cackling about it. He's like a weird old dude. I think he's like the dude's it's not for me. It's not my thing. Oh my God, there goes my phone with an Amber Alert. But yeah, in general, if somebody's like is headed in the same direction as you want to win them over to your details and the more difficult to understand points, I guess.
With a respectful manner, and he was afraid to do that because he knows he's full of it.
So
and he's
much
just delivering
so.
talking points that his NRA buddies give him to go.
Yeah, they all it's all part of the big grift that all these conservative media. It's like you said. It's like they suck every dollar.
Yeah, there's a real split in the chat between Jimmy Dore fans and not. Look, I would say that just seems like a little bit of like a counterproductive thing overall. Be like, look, he's got some good points. I'm not like, we're not betting on horses or something. It's not like, no, Jimmy Dore's my guy. No, Sam, no, whatever. Chapo Trap hat, like, it's like you take what you agree with. If somebody's doing something clearly heinous, then maybe they don't deserve to be listened to at all, of course. But like, it's like, I don't know. I don't totally agree with the idea of like that's my guy. That's my guy.
Chewy time.
Out of every controversy,
except for me, of course.
And that's all that matters to him because he's got these big, beautiful leather holsters, and those things don't fill themselves. And it is
here we
worth
go with the
mentioning
ads.
once again.
I had sex.
Here we go.
And a condom fell out. What?
What is this?
Let's get.
What are these pervert shows they're putting on Hulu?
That he noticed that you.
Hell yeah! Only infallible YouTuber is me. Yes, exactly. Who's been
ended your show early last week, and
That's right.
And we specifically were like, I know he's watching because he's so afraid of Sam that we need to pre-record something, air it, so that he thinks you're live.
Right now,
worked.
as we are talking, there is a live show that's
and
on,
it worked.
and he came on.
noticed.
We started.
Yeah, this is Reginald Swanson says preverts. Yeah, a bunch of preverts on Hulu. That's my guy. Yeah, that's probably the funniest thing about this whole thing is that they tricked this goober into this thing. That is just funny. That is just funny for a guy, you know, like huge portions of YouTube viewers are watching this thing, and this guy gets and this guy gets tricked. This dimwit who doesn't want to leave his studio with people that he pays to agree with everything he says. He gets blindsided. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
The show 2 minutes early, and he did not walk onto the set until our show was live.
So true.
And you I gotta say, you called it last week, and I was like, I just don't believe that he's that nervous.
Yeah, he
about.
was. I can't believe he admitted it. What a dumbass to admit it.
And also, like, the alternative is, I think that Sam could show up, and I can't wait to show my audience how this moron who's been dogging me supposedly and sending people to, you know, debate me and this and that, I'm going to put this to rest once and for all. If Steven Crowder was as much of a man as he seems to...
Mary Kate, quote, "I dropped my sex," unquote, is something that would unironically be said in a 19th century novel. That, I don't know who originally said that quote, but yeah, that is a very old-timey pervert thing to say. Andres, thank you for the 5 bones. Oh man, more dollars to be rid of those pervert program ads. I got it, like, that's one of those things that's probably so easy to just get a YouTube premium thing. Easy, not very expensive, but I'm just, I don't have the time. That's just too much work to do like 10 clicks. Oh no, I can't make the mental leap, the psychological leap to like pay a couple dollars to not have ads all the time. Ads that, by the way, drive me absolutely furious.
To be with his, you know, all his weightlifting and his gun and his holster. He's got a weapon, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
I'm coming unarmed. Hands up. If you want to shoot, go ahead.
How much alpha brain do you think he takes in the morning?
He's probably juicing. And the idea that he had at least a week in advance knowledge that he couldn't come prepared to debate somebody who actually reads this stuff and spends their time doing this.
I really wanted to read your name, the Clark. I'll just call you the Clark C. I love the idea of like giving super chats, but you have like a name that has like the C word in it. So like I have to say thank you because it's a super chat, but I also have to say the C word over and over again. Despite that, I say thank you and I love you and
Chewy time
to you. Thank you for the 10 bones. The memes from this situation are great. I posted a bunch on the Discord, but I don't want to spam. Hey, spam away, buddy. Spam away, brother. I love you. And one day I will say your name. Why not? But yeah, I mean, that's what this is. This is a living meme and an art piece, and it's pretty funny. You gotta love it.
Is almost like the saddest thing that one could say about Steven Crowder.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's some other things.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Wow. Steven.
It's really sad. I mean, I was looking forward to it because I really wanted to
the irony, right, as you've pointed out, is that he's the guy who got famous for with the debate me. You can't, if you're the debate me guy, that's your claim to fame. You can't dodge people that want to debate you, Steven. You gotta own this thing that you create, this image you created. Stop being a bitch. Stop being a baby. You're like, come on, Steven. I think he lost the right to those holsters. I think he has to retire them.
Honestly, yeah, I think maybe
I'm calling on retiring those holsters today.
Normalize wearing a squirt gun instead is what I would say to him. He'd have to, or maybe like a Nerf. He'd have to have like a Nerf weapon. Like, I don't. Is he old enough to now like have a license for a handgun, or he doesn't need to anymore? Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, like, I think we need to have a meeting with his dad and
I have his
bring
email
his father.
Now, so I'll be. Maybe we should email him. Just say, we think that.
I don't know if his dad will be answering any of my emails after today.
After today, we're gonna have to ask for his badge and weapon.
we're both fathers. I can't tell you how disappointed I would be in my son if he did what Steven did.
Oh, so disappointed, son. Yeah, son.
I just, my son had his final Pony League baseball game yesterday, and I saw more.
All right, now they're going into dad stuff. Who cares? I'm just kidding. That's mean. It'd be funny if Sam Cedar was your dad, you know? CEO, are you there?
Hey, what's up, bro? CEO, are you there? CEO? CEO?
Oh. I love when people flush themselves. It's like, hey, CEO, ding ding. He just like goes out of the room. Chippy, did you get back in the green room?
Yeah, but it's because I'm putting people in. Get new people.
Hey, Chippy, I just wanted to say, is there any room left in the toilet?
Maybe, Greg. I don't know. I feel like maybe you should be the next toilet. I don't know what the male version would be.
Hey, you know, I have a British accent too, mate.
Oh, really? Can I hear it?
My lord, my lord.
Oh,
He's
God.
saying my lord. Unbelievable. All right, Chippy.
Isn't that kind of racist towards British people?
Oh, but that's the tip of the iceberg with the Greg racism. You heard what he said about. You heard what he was saying about Korean movies. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye, Chip. Typical Chip. Standard Chip attitude. I kind of like that Sam Cedar and H3H3 are just kind of sitting around dissecting this thing. Is just everybody flushing themselves? Nikki D.
Hey, Nikki D. What's up, Nikki D? Are you there? Nikki D?
Nikki D? Hey, Nikki D, are you there?
Chewy time.
All right, fine.
More courage from some of those 8-year-olds than we witnessed from Steven Crowder today. I mean, I would say probably like a good 3 or 4.
Oi, bro. Oi, mate. I want to meet this bird, Chippy. Fish and Chippy. I know about that, mate. It is really the worst when somebody does like a bad British accent. It's just like, just don't do it. Get it down or don't do it at all. F a neck. Who needs a neck? Yeah, guys, I don't have a neck anymore. I really like, I just noticed this when I was editing a video the other day. I'm like, my neck is waved me bye-bye a long time ago.
4 of them were a lot tougher than Crowder. One guy hit the ball, the other one tripped.
Yeah.
And one of them didn't have their favorite hat, but they all played through it. They all played through it. And I'm sad that Steven.
Did you find it interesting too how he wouldn't put the camera on him for a minute?
Nick,
it
your
was
mic?
just on his sidekick.
Yeah, what do you think was going on? Do you think he was like going like, Dad,
Yeah.
get Dad in here.
Yeah.
Get Dad in here now.
Got it.
But I'm glad he finally brought it back because
I kind of want H3 and Cedar to be bros, you know? Yo, RM, I like that shirt on you. Are you making a joke that I always wear this shirt? I wash it, once a month. Bi-monthly, I wash it, but that's it. You remind me of the boyfriend from Iron Giant. I don't remember that movie. But guaranteed, when anybody says you look like somebody, I go and look at them and they look like a ferret. So, thank you. They always look like some combination of a ferret and a puddle of a puke. British is just fancy baby talk.
I was like, what is with the sidekick? Why are you throwing him under the bus?
I know it. And the sidekick had to pretend like he was a big fan of mine. And
He had to
that's
come
why
in
they've
real
been
quick. Yeah.
monitoring the show. That is.
His sidekick wasn't even drunk yet. It is early. Usually that guy's pissed drunk by the time they do their show.
I don't know. What would I do? What would I do in this situation? Fang X, are you there?
Hey, Fang, welcome to the Greg Show. I'm your host, Greg.
Man, Greg's mic is really badly messed up. Keeps glitching out. Good boy. Jake Johnson. Don't you dare talk about Jake Johnson that way. Remind me who Jake Johnson is again? Mary Kate, put it in the chat. Daddy, help me. Sam Cedar's being mean. I mean,
I'm here.
Oh my God, Fang X.
Hey, Fang, what's up, bro?
Yeah, damn, I'm here. Whoa, I can't believe it. It's a great honor to be here, mate.
Oh no, it's a great honor for me to talk to you. How are you? What's going on tonight?
It's great. It's great. I think I haven't watched all your live shows, but I think I might be your first caller from South America. Am I right?
Oh, what part of South America are you in? Yeah, well, I can't remember if anybody.
Argentina, mate.
Oh, Argentina, nice. How's Argentina tonight and lately?
Pretty bad. You know, it doesn't matter when you hear this. It's pretty bad all the time. So.
You want to get out of Argentina? You over it?
You know, I was caught in Germany when this fucking pandemic started. So. Yeah, I try to be away from it as much as I can, but it's unavoidable sometimes when you're born here.
What's the vaccine situation in Argentina?
I think it's like 30% with one dose, 8% 2 doses. So, yeah, nearly enough.
Oh boy. Oh well,
I had something for you, mate.
Yeah,
I had something for you.
Tell me. I was gonna say I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that.
I don't know if you. Yeah, me too, mate. Are you aware that there's an urban dictionary definition, Crowder's Law, and you appear on it?
Are you serious?
Yes, I am, mate. You should look it up. You should read it.
Oh, is it good, or is it people saying comparing me to people that they think I look like, who look like ferrets?
But I think it'd be cool if it said that actually. But it just says you're the ruler of the muscular class.
We've taken over. Yeah, somebody. Let's see. Let's look it up. Let's look at it. Oh my God. I owe you for this one. This is a good call. Crowder's Law states the dumber the content, the bigger the audience. Coined in YouTuber and ruler of the muscular classes, R.M. Brown's comments by Lukov. Yes, that was Lukov. So we got to give all praises due to complimentary name of the working class, especially people who do physical work. Comments by Lukov to explain conservative commenter Steven Crowder's online influence. And here's the example. Non-muscular class member. Hey, man, why does this idiot have so many subs? R.M. Brown. I don't know, man. Crowder's Law says so. Well done.
Yeah.
Whoever put that entry.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, hit me up. What's going on?
I have a question for you, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah. So, being that Crowder's Law states that the dumber the content, the bigger the audience, what are you going to do when you get a bigger audience?
That's the thing. That's where it's that's where we meet the contradictions and the whole thing falls apart. You know what I mean? And then I think at that point
you flush me.
Yeah,
that's where you flush me.
That's where I flush you. I'm like, oh, cut him off. No, at that point I think I'll sell out and I'll just take money from oil billionaires. I'll take money from the Wilkes brothers or whatever. I'll go full Benny Pepino.
Don't forget about us. Forget about us when you do that.
I love you. I want to visit Argentina. You got to show me around.
Whatever you want, mate.
All right. I love you, buddy. Thank you for calling. This was awesome. It's good to see that people are, ruining Urban Dictionary with our material.
Thank you, mate.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Good guy there. What a good guy. He was like really nice, calling from Argentina, had his thing that he wanted, had something to point out, and then he's out of there. Love him. All right, I guess let's just we'll keep watching, whatever. This is one of those streams where we just kind of stare at something else. I love it when people are having like long conversations in the chat, because I'll look at it, I'll be like, oh, I'm like way behind this whole thing. I'm way behind whatever inside jokes they're doing.
To be honest, like the only time I think I've watched an extended run of Crowder show was when he was talking about you. I was trying to figure out like how did this start, and he was really drippily condescending for a guy who is afraid to actually test his beliefs.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised. I haven't seen him so weak since watching him get punched in the face and dropping like a house of cards
by an old
in
man,
Wisconsin.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, that's the other thing. I don't know if you knew this. So Crowder, when he was complaining about what happened on YouTube to him, he put out a compilation video of people responding to when he got decked by a union guy in Wisconsin at the 2011 March.
That when he got punched by that union guy, it's the funniest thing because it's like somebody getting punched. Like the guy who punched him was just like, yeah, I have no choice but to punch this guy. It wasn't a like, come on, like let's go. It was just like a get away from me, I have no choice but to punch this idiot kind of thing. Comedian, are you there?
Hey, what's up, bro?
What up, bro?
What up, bro?
Is that Greg?
Hey, what's up, bro? Greg. We got Greg on the line.
Man, Greg was supposed to do a segment where he talked about Cruella, but his connection's all weird.
I don't know, man. It's been weird. I think I need to update some of my codecs and drivers because I can't share.
Oh my god! Wow. He needs a codec or something.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh,
I'm
man.
sorry, comedian.
It's all good. What's happening?
What up with you? What do you got for us tonight on the program where we just watch Sammy Cedar, star of YouTube.com, Sammy Cedar, getting into a thing with an idiot?
Yeah, so I actually worked like all day, so I missed all of this. On my lunch break, I heard about that, and I was pretty excited to watch that. So I've only seen like bits and pieces, but I'm really looking forward to just sitting down and watching that. So I guess I can't really comment on it one way or another, but I'm glad it finally happened.
It's funny because I watched that guy Hassan did an interview with H3H3 because I was like, oh well, I got to talk about this, everybody. And Ethan Klein was saying something about that. Steven Crowder said something that he was going to regret forever, and I guess that he kind of admitted that he was dodging. I guess that's the thing that he's going to regret, is that he was like intentionally dodging.
He was
he was
living
paying
up to the cold feet Crowder.
Exact. Like he was paying super close attention to when Sam Cedar was like streaming basically and like going live, so he could avoid him.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Oh, he's living in his head rent free. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's great. I can't wait to sit down and watch it. I saw that H3 Hassan thing on my lunch break, and it just got me so amped to finish the work day.
You did you tell your boss, hey, I gotta wrap this crap up because I gotta go.
Yeah.
Here at where would I gotta get out of here. I'm done doing my work here at the hedge fund. I gotta get out here at Epstein. It's whatever the Epstein Corporation. I gotta get out of here.
No, I mean, I'll say it. I work at Trader Joe's, so I was, dealing with customers all day and whatnot.
Trader Joe's has some quality treats. Do you agree with that, or are you just over everything?
Oh yeah, no, I'm like not new, but I've been there about half a year now, and I'm still finding goodies, as seasonal items. Yeah, they got good stuff for sure. I got a
still
work story
chomping?
for you if you
still
want to hear it.
Well, I gotta know
chomping,
first.
Yeah.
You chomping those treats, aren't you?
Are you talking about the chomp sticks? Is that what you're talking about?
Are there's something called chomp sticks?
Yeah, I thought you were trying to make a pun. Yeah, there's kind of like, like beef, like not jerky, like Slim Jim, like sticks. They're called chomps. I thought you were trying to make a pun.
Well, okay. Before you tell us the work story, what's your favorite little snacky pie that you eat at Trader Joe's recently?
My favorite snacky pie. I don't have like a favorite, but I did try. Do you know about this ube mochi stuff?
No, what's that?
So it only comes once a year over the summer, and it's like there's like ube mochi pancakes and ice cream and cookies, and I tried the pancakes this morning, and they were very good.
What?
Yeah, they're
Is
like
it is it like mochi, like the little ice creams?
So that's what I initially thought. It's like a it's like a purple yam thing. It's hard to explain, but it's very tasty. I liked it.
All right.
That's my
okay.
favorite. It's my favorite snacky pie so
What's
far.
What's it called again? So if anybody listening and myself are
Yeah.
at Trader Joe's anytime soon, we could pick up some of that and shove it into our face holes.
Yeah, yeah. It's a ube ube mochi mochi, and there's like ice cream, cookies, and the pancakes
I'm
or
gonna-
waffles. It's
I'm
just
gonna
like
loop it,
it's a
so-
mix. But beware, ube mochi. Be wary though. It's like super popular, and like our store limits 2 per person because when we first got them, this dude literally filled up a whole shopping cart full of them.
Oh.
And I think the reason why is because it's seasonal. People are flipping them on eBay. They're like literally reselling them for
I
like.
was gonna say, yeah. Shut up, Greg. I was gonna do like as a joke. Like, is he one of these like sneaker resellers? Like these things are like the
They
supreme
call them
crap.
scalpers.
Unbelievable.
No, yeah, people do that.
It's so
And-
it's so annoying. Like people who, I mean, I get it because you want money and you're trying to figure out a way to make money that's not stupid and
Free
that's not-
market, baby.
Yeah, so you end up doing these weird things like I'm gonna wait outside. I'm gonna camp outside the
Yeah,
Trader Joe's
yeah.
and buy up all
I
the
know.
mochi. It's like, yeah, that's what a great contribution you're making.
I work a lot of like 5 to 1 p.m. shifts too, and it's like 6:30. There's like already a line forming outside. I'm like, good lord, it's just like it's pretty
boy.
ridiculous.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Ube Mochi just does kind of sound like a 90s band name, Ube Mochi. We're going to see Ube
Yeah,
Mochi.
totally.
Very nice. Well, is
Yeah.
that the work story, or do you have another Trader
No,
Joe's?
no, I got. I was writing my order today. I write the order for the like the dairy box,
Mhm.
and I'm standing in front, just kind of looking at what needs to be ordered, and I got like a little tablet thing, and this lady just like walks up to me, and my head's down, like I'm just like leaning against the wall, head down, and looking at the tablet, and this lady, I don't deal with customers during that time,
Mhm.
and this lady just like walks up, and she like crouches down, so like she's level with the tablet, like waist high, so I could see her in my eyesight, and I'm like, can I help you? And she's holding, she's like holding like, this is a senior citizen, older lady, and she's holding like 6 stacks of eggs, and she's like, look at these eggs, and I go, yeah, and then she goes, look at the sell-by date, and they were like 2 days old, past sell-by date, and I go, oh man, I'm sorry about that, like we could swap those out for you, sometimes mistakes happen, and I'm like, I'm over it at this point in the day. Like I'm just like tired, and she goes, this is unacceptable, and I go, here. I go here, and I grab like a one that's like weeks out, and I'm like, here you go, this one looks pretty good, and she goes, and I wasn't giving her like over sympathetic or and I'm like, okay, and I literally was like, I'll get rid of these. I took them from her, and I just like walked away, and yeah, that was, I don't know, that was kind of funny to me, just like
People,
that whole
look,
interaction.
I've worked a bunch of jobs in like restaurants and retail and stuff, and the bizarre behavior that you encounter working at those jobs is truly mind blowing. Like it's astounding.
Yeah.
Like,
I also bartend and wait tables as a second job, and like, yeah, it's insane. Some of the what they expect of you,
Yeah, like well, there's always like that lady. She was probably you think she was running some kind of thing where she's like, "Ooh, I'm gonna get these eggs for 50% or something like that."
That's exactly what I think she's trying. Like, oh, it's on the house. I don't know what she was expecting. it's freaking eggs.
And there's a lot.
I don't know.
The other thing you realize when you work those kind of those frontline jobs, the real jobs like that, is you realize that there's so many people who are just like ready to have a meltdown, and they're looking for somebody to just like kind of lose it on, and and there's no reasoning with them that like, hey, this person that you're about to have a meltdown, they don't own this company. They don't make any of it. They're there to like do their job, do a good job, and then get the F out of there. So when you are having a meltdown, you're yelling and screaming and foaming your diapers about somebody who's literally getting paid a teeny fraction of the people who like really run the joint. You know, and you're drooling and spitting in their face is ridiculous. But do you have any good bartending stories? Are people is it a chippy situation where everybody's like giving you the business and getting romantic with you, or what's the deal?
I mean, I've definitely had people like flirt and given numbers, and I've taken a couple of those up. On, but I won't go into those details. But I've seen like.
Please go into extreme. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll start it. No, I had an escort, like a lady of the night like situation. It was very weird. Like she met up with the dude, and it was like so obvious. Like this schlubby guy and this this woman, because it's a place connected to like a hotel. It's like in a downtown area connected to a hotel. So it's like, I know what's happening here. And just like the whole interaction, just overhearing what they were talking about, I was like, holy shit, like just so blatantly in front of like all these people. It's kind of, I don't know, kind of crazy to see that. I saw, dude, this one is great. This guy was leaving the restaurant. A guy was walking on the sidewalk outside our patio. And the one guy called the other guy an N-word unprovoked. Just
oh boy,
just drop the N.
What the hell?
Yeah, just drop the N-bomb, and then the other guy's like, "What did you just say to me?" And they got in a brawl. Like a guy picked up one of our steel patio chairs and hit him in the head with it.
Whoa!
And then,
damn, he went John Cena on the guy.
Pretty much, yes. Well, the good guy, the guy who, So, yeah, he hit the guy in the head with the steel chair, and then he just started to like dart out of here. And the other guy who got hit in the head, who called the guy the N-word, he grabbed like one of our like flimsy ass like baby high chairs. Like he's trying to chase after this guy, and he's like bleeding from the head. That was probably the most insane thing I saw.
Oh boy! So that's weird. Yeah. It really it's an emotional roller coaster working, especially a job like
you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, like it's like you walk into work as a bartender. You're like, I could meet a beautiful partner, a beautiful romantic partner tonight, or a guy will shout the N-word in another guy's face and then hit him with a steel chair, and then that guy will try to hit him with a high chair. That's the life. That's life in the service industry, right there.
I also witnessed a homeless guy just pee on our patio, just take a piss, just drop trow and just piss on the floor.
You know what? More power to him. Embrace the outside peeing.
He's just like, whatever.
The comedian. Before I flush you, will you say what's give people listening some insight into like how do you want to be treated as a bartender, for example? You want to get the big tip? Do you just expect people to give you a reasonable tip? Like, what do you want?
I mean, I would appreciate, I think like the normal amount now is 20%. And people have to remember that we also tip out bar backs, and we tip out the kitchen, and we tip out the food runners.
Everybody
so
wants
it is
some.
like it's a unit, we all get that share of the tip. So if you skim the bartender, even if you don't get great service, understand we're hustling. We got to do like takeout orders. We got to work the service well for all the server drinks, as well as a 10 bar.
You might be shocked to hear this, but I actually have one of the bar backs from the restaurant you work in on the line. Are you there?
Yeah.
You got Gio?
Yeah, it's me,
Gio. What up?
It's me, Gio. You have not been tipping me out lately. I'm not.
Ooh.
Oh no, I have.
You don't tip. You didn't tip Gio out.
Yeah, he hasn't in months. He hasn't done it in months.
He's got Gio's got a weird voice, but he says you haven't tipped him out in months. Oh boy.
Oh man, I'll
called
have to talk
out.
to I'll have to talk to Mary about that, Gio.
You got
Sorry.
trapped. You got trapped Crowder style.
Oh no.
All right. Well,
No,
comedian.
Wait, one more thing.
Okay,
Sorry.
hit it. Go ahead.
Movie wreck. Did you see The Guest? Did you ever see that movie?
You know what? That's been recommended a couple times. Should I watch it?
Yeah, it's definitely cool. It's a satire of like 80s, like it's like a mix between like horror, but like a little science fiction and action. And
The
it's a
Guest.
really well-made movie. It's
The
cool.
Guest. Okay. All right. I'm gonna literally put it on the list. The Guest.
Hell yeah.
It's on the list.
And I just want to, wish all the other toileters good luck on Wednesday. I think I'm gonna crush it. I think I got a shot.
Yeah. So you're competing
So
for Chippy's hand in marriage.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a tough one because
we'll see.
she might be jealous that you have all this ladies hitting on you in the bar though.
That's in the past, Chippy. Don't worry about it.
All right. Love you, comedian. I hope. Well, look, I don't know. You just see now my heart is torn between two possible romantic partners for Chippy, but we'll see. Bye to comedian.
I'm still here.
Oh, that guy Gio, his barback is still here.
Yeah, that guy has not tipped me out since he started working there, really.
Oh man, he just keeps all that money for himself. Chippy, I don't know. A guy who does that, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Protests against Scott Walker. And in that compilation, I was in it. And he put the video out. And then he pulled it back and cut me out of the compilation. And
who do you guys think, if anybody has... So there's that guy. So we got the comedian so far. It seems like some of the top guy. And remember, the way Chippy was talking, it sounded pretty good for if Richard Nixon was good at football. That guy. Weird name, but good guy. Sounding like he's at the top of the heap right now. But comedian is sounding pretty good too. So if anybody, who are you guys putting your money on?
I posted it on Twitter. Do we have that stuff?
Oh wow, he is deathly afraid of you.
It is.
Also, just to remind you guys what food that guy was talking about.
Ube mochi. Ube mochi.
That's how I remember things now. I just gotta make it a sample.
Somebody on Twitter saw it and sent it in. We did a video about it, but it is weird.
He is deathly afraid.
And how he pretends. That's the thing I don't get. Like, how do you spend so much time worrying about somebody that you think is not big enough to even discuss?
Who is he supposed to debate then, if not you?
I don't know.
Yeah, me? I'm not a political debater. I'm just...
It's kind of like the same thing that, what's his name? Lobster Man did with Zizek, where he's like, yeah, this guy's more of like a comedian. He's not going to nail me down in a debate like Richard Wolff does. So I'll go with this guy. It'd be funny if if Zizek traps Jordy Peterson like this, like he's like, I'll do another debate with Zizek. And then just Richard Wolff is there. Oh, you idiot. Oh, you look stupid with your glasses. That'd be pretty good.
Just some dumbass. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's trolling through to find.
Guys, we are killing the progressive. Oh no, actually, he has more people watching right now. He has more people watching because they've been watching him for like 10 years. That guy's been doing videos for like 10 years. And we're beating Vosh too, who only has 12,000 people watching right now.
And makeup tutorial sites that have like 2 million subscribers, or anybody who doesn't
Minecrafters have a lot of subs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's some Minecrafters my son watches that maybe he'd like to debate on some of these issues.
Right.
Wow.
All right. Well, we got him, dude.
Yeah, that was fun. I appreciate your...
There we go. Now they're just wrapping it. These two guys are trying to figure out a not awkward way to say goodbye to each other. He's like, well, Sammy, I got to wrap it up. And Sam's like, oh, wait. Where are you going? Where are you going? He's like a guy at the bar when the comedian is trying to wrap up and he won't leave. I guess any last words from anybody? Speak now or forever hold your peace. And on that note, let's talk to Mario. Mario, are you there?
Mario?
Greg, get that mic on point.
Oh, hey, mate.
Let me check. Hold on. What if I talk?
What if you move that cord?
Okay.
Oh my god. Mario,
Better?
I'm sorry about that. My co-host, he's having codec issues. What's up with you?
Oh, not a lot, mate. Just having a bit of a chill out lunchtime break. Thought I might clue you in on some fun stuff happening in Australia as far as YouTube.
Yes.
There's this really weird guy here who does a bunch of like political stuff, kind of, exposing politicians, and he's actually getting sued for defamation by one of the politicians that he's been exposing.
Mm-hmm.
And they even arrested his producer.
Who is it? What's this guy's name? Do I know this guy? What's his name?
I don't know. He's a bit cancelable.
Mm-hmm.
Put it that way. But
is it Jimmy Dore? Is there an Australian version of Jimmy Dore?
I'm trying to think of what the equivalent would be. He's kind of like economically left-leaning, but he says a bunch of stuff that's like, yeah, I guess some people would say it's racist or sexist. But he's also like, yeah, I don't know. It's like a bit. He's got a like real ego.
He's like, we need to make sure all these blanks have health care. Is he saying that kind of stuff?
Yeah. Well, we have free healthcare in Australia, but we've got a wonderful.
He's trying to keep
like
it.
Australian
He's trying to keep
Trump.
it.
Yeah, like we've got like an Australian Trump.
Yeah, right.
Version of Trump, like a super laid back, daggy dad version of Trump.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so he's trying to obviously, roll back our Medicare, which I benefited from hugely last year when I broke my knee. But yeah, so this guy's called Friendly Geordies. He's probably one of the bigger Australian YouTubers, I reckon.
Oh.
And if you look him up, like there's all these articles that have been coming out in the last couple of weeks because he's like, he's focusing on state politics, which doesn't really get much news, but he's got quite a following because he's like also a comedian and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so he's like one of the few people in the country like who actually gets an audience shining a light on all of this really blatant corruption.
Mm.
But we've got this weird thing in Australia at the moment where politicians like response to being like investigated by reporters is to just sue them.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, there's this one guy, John Barilaro, who's like the 2IC in the state that I live in.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just behind all this like terrible corruption and allegedly, this terrible corruption. And like we've had all these bad bushfires, like the koala population's been dying out.
Oh.
The like premier doesn't fucking do anything about it, like makes it worse, allows like land clearing and logging.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, and so the response, and it's kind of driven a lot by this, like, there's a coalition between, like, the center-right and, like, I guess, super-right parties, and he's the head of that one in this state, and they're just, like, they do not give a fuck about climate change, they don't give a, like, yeah, they don't care about logging.
Are there a lot of,
like,
are there a lot of far-right wingers in Australia, like, in general? Like, do you encounter these people? Are they like like people, a lot of people here in the United States who people think of as like sort of Crowder fans or Trump supporters or whatever? Is there any of that going on?
Yeah, we've got like a couple of people like that. They're kind of in the sort of like free speech brigade,
Mm-hmm. Do you like encounter these people like in your life at all, or they live in a certain part of the country, or how does it work?
It's a bit weird because things like I feel like the rough edges sometimes get a bit rounded out here.
Okay.
But so I don't tend to like encounter people who are like full on neo-Nazis.
Okay.
But I think that like because we're like a country built on colonialism, so there's just a bunch of like really deeply ingrained racism that you might hear from like people in your family who listen too much to like radio shock jocks, and they just kind of echo the talking points. So it's that like super creepy thing that you get where and then like people feel like they're being silenced because of like, you know, quote unquote cancel culture, and like they stop focusing on the real problem. So yeah, but I mean, I would also say that like our government right now is like just incredibly right wing. Like they kind of come across as being a centre right party, and we have a lot of social security in Australia that's like being eroded, but still robust compared to a lot of other places, depending, of course, on a bunch of other things. But yeah, like our prime minister is like he's got like a friend who's like a big Q person, and he's like a weird Hillsong guy.
What's the name of this cancelable guy who exposes these people? What's his name again?
It's Friendly Geordies. That's all one word, and
Friendly
Geordies is spelled
right?
Yeah, Jordies.
All right.
It's like I don't even know if
Well, look, we got to wrap it up, but Mario, will you come back and keep us updated on what's going on in Australia on the next episode?
I will.
All right.
Is that on Thursday?
Well, yeah, I think it's Thursday for you, but whenever you can, come on whenever you can. You're always welcome, and I'll put you at the top of the list.
I'll jump on next week sometime if I can, because this is like work day time for me. So,
oh boy!
But
okay.
It's whenever I get a few hours spare, you know, and there's some RM on. Love a bit of RM.
Oh, that's so nice. I love you, Mario. Thank you for
you too.
talking to me. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, mate.
What a nice guy. Jeez Louise. Don't deserve it. J-Bone.
Oh, we got J-Bone.
We got
J-Bone. J-Bone says,
RM, better movie, Face Off, Con Air, or Land Before Time. Bigfoot spends a weekend at Bernie's. What? J-Bone, I wish that was a real movie. It's a Land Before Time, Weekend at Bernie's crossover. I'll go with that, but I'll also go with Con Air is pretty good. Face Off has a lot of great Nick Cage movies, moments. A lot of great Nick Cage moments in Face Off, like where he makes that stupid face when he's the priest and all that stuff. Ricky Martin, do you spell it Dipes, or Dipes? All of them are correct. Squid for Hire, thank you for the $1. Well, guys, I think that was fun watching just like probably one of the funnier YouTube dramas that's probably happened ever. And thank you to Stephen Primo for the one bone. Stephen Primo, one of the primo YouTube commenters and viewers, I guess. Seems like a handsome guy based on the thumbnail. Guys, I think we've done it here tonight. This was a very, what I call, low effort content stream where we just stared at other people talking and we just went like this. And remember, we got a couple things to remember here. The main one is go out and go to Trader Joe's and try the
Ube mochi.
Guys, thank you so much for watching, all of you. Thank you for all of the super chats, which I clearly don't deserve based on this, really, I would call it horrendous content. And I will talk to you next time on Wednesday. Guys, come back on Wednesday, and I will talk to you then. Boo-boo-boo-boo-boo. Bye-bye-bye-bye.
Ube mochi. Chewy time. Chewy time.
Chewy time.
Why?